crazier about that is Alex Bayer, he's his coach. He's his tight end coach. So he has a chance to break the record with the guy who currently holds it on the sideline cheering him on. I can't imagine anything more special.
Yeah, can't believe anything more special than that. But now moving on to the Kent State side of things. So far, the 2024 season has definitely not gotten out to the start they have wanted. They are currently 0-6 on the year, while currently 0-2 in conference play. So far, their conference games have been back on September 28th when they were at home against Eastern Michigan, where they lost 52-33. And then this last week and this time around, they were at home against Ball State, where they lost a close one, with Ball State taking the win 37-35. And then so far, overall this season, that has been the closest that Kent State has gotten to putting a W on the board. So is this the day that they finally turn the season around? But we'll just have to wait and see, Artie.
Absolutely. So last time Kent State played at Dwight Perry Stadium, they lost 42-7. That was in 2016. So that was nearly, crazy to think, a decade ago, if you think about it. And it hasn't been the greatest season for Kent State, as mentioned, 0-6, but they have played a little bit better since they switched to quarterback Tommy Ulowski to start MAC play. They've been averaging 34 points per game with 441.5 yards per game. So a bit of a test here for the Falcons defense, who play very well. They have 17 sacks on the season. They have a really solid defensive unit, and Bowling Green has really struggled. They really struggled last week offensively. It was 17-7 game. They couldn't really get Harold Fanning Jr. involved as well as they wanted to, and that sort of spelled disaster for them because it kind of pinpointed weaknesses in their offense when they can't get their top player going.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the major key points that Coach Scott Leffler talked about in this press conference was the lack of confidence with Bowling Green. There have been times this year against big schools too. Week 2 against Penn State, week 3 against Texas A&M for the first time. Despite losing those games and, more games like Old Dominion and Northern Illinois, Coach Leffler talked a lot about how the lack of confidence is what's really been killing the game plan for the Falcons. So I'll be very interested to see, or as we'll be very interested to see, Artie, if there's a little bit of extra pep in their step this week, because when you are very, very confident, you are going to get the job done.
Oh, absolutely, Carter. How can you expect to play well if you don't believe in yourself? You don't have confidence in yourself and your team. And I think Scott Leffler was right. There's a little bit of a confidence issue with this team. You saw them show out against teams like Penn State, Texas A&M. They took them to the limit, and they really put themselves on the map. But to start MAC play, it's been a struggle. Obviously, you had that NIU loss, and obviously the Old Dominion loss was really just heartbreaking on homecoming.
So far, Bowling Green's only Mid-American Conference win came back on October 5th, where they played against Akron at the Zip Stadium, where they got the win 27-20. And we talk a lot about Harold Fanning Jr. We definitely saw him a lot that game. Had a few touchdown receptions, including one big one on 4th and 9, which basically sealed the deal for the Falcons. But the defense has been a little bit questionable as of late. They're going to have to really start to get things going. But, Artie, defense wins championships at the end of the day. Talk about how important it is for the Falcons to really get rolling on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. So I mentioned 17 sacks on the season. That's 16th nationally and first in the MAC. But their pass defense has been a little they've given up a lot of yards per game, a lot of big touchdowns in their secondary. So it's interesting to see how their front four is fantastic. You've got Charles Rosser, who's currently tied for 20th in the nation in sacks, tied for number 1 in the MAC with 4.5 sacks. He's tied with Sirlane Perkins from Ole Miss and Penn State's, and he's just above who's Penn State's Kydron Jenkins, who is 5. But that secondary play is really going to have to come in clutch here for the Falcons. You have to be able to stop them here. And last week against Ball State, wide receiver Luke Floria had a career day. He had 6 catches, 130 yards with 1 touchdown. So you're going to have to defend the pass very well here today.
And also going back to Kent State, they are currently led by head coach Kenny Burns. And looking at Coach Burns' resume, he has definitely been all over the place. He started his coaching career all the way back in 2007 at Millersville when he was the running back head coach. From 08 to 09, he was the Southern Illinois tight end coach. 10 to 13, he was the North Dakota State wide receiver coach. 14, the Wyoming wide receiver coach. 16, the Western Michigan running back coach. 17 to 18, the Minnesota Golden Gophers running back coach. Stayed at Minnesota from 19 to 22 as the assistant running backs head coach, and now back back all the way back in November of 2022. He was hired as the Kent State coach, and so far he has an overall record of 1-17 as the Golden Flashes head coach. Obviously, not the record you want to have as a head coach, but it's still a somewhat new experience, and he has plenty of time to work on it.
Absolutely. I feel like it's too soon to give up him as a coach. 'Cause he's had a tough go of it so far. Maybe a little bit of a lot of struggle to start his career, and obviously he's still looking for that win this season. So he's looking to add another win to his resume with only one so far with Kent State.
And I want to make a quick correction. It was December of 2022. I'm thinking already about November, ladies and gentlemen, as the fall months are currently setting in, and we're going to take a quick break as the warm-ups continue, and we will be back. Please stay with us here on Falcon Radio.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14.
41, 31, 13. We
Took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted.
I
Realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe. Effective. Even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Gonna win that one initially. Head up again. Wins the second one, however. Back to lane, back to Painter. That one's blocked, gets it back. Painter! Bennett Painter paints another masterclass at Cochran Stadium.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career that I could be proud of.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Joshua Saltzman, class of 2019, and you're listening to BGSU Falcon Athletics right here on Falcon Radio, your home for the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization.
Back here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting ready for kickoff here at for Bowling Green and Kent State college football here. Glad to have you with us once again. I'm Carter Leonard alongside Artie Abrego. And Artie, we talked a lot about before the break how BG, so far in MAC play has been kind of up and down, to say the least. So what are the key components that you're going to look for today for this Falcon squad?
You just got to get off to a hot start, whether you're on defense or on offense. I think they got to get that confidence up early. You got to score on that first drive. This is a team that they are projected to win. And ESPN had them at a 95% chance to win this game. And, had that Akron game, which maybe was a little closer than some people would have argued. But you got to get off to a hot start. You got to get going quickly. And then you got to defend the pass well. You got to contain them on offense. You have to be the better defensive team today. You have to be the better offensive team today. You have to play well in all areas. Because in a way, I feel like this is a hype-up game for your rivalry game next weekend. You're traveling to the Glass Bowl for the Battle of I-75. You have to win this game to keep that confidence up so you don't have confidence issues against the team. So you just have to make smart decisions. Connor Bazelak, who is taking reps right now, but I don't want to make any assumptions before he starts to play. He's got to get those passes out real quick. He's got to make those decisions quickly. He can't hold on to the ball very long. And you have to have a better offensive performance than you did against NIU, which was just a 7-point game.
Yeah, that's what a whole week of practice says. It's a complete reset. No matter if you win, lose, you have to get back on the work trend, as they would like to say, because that's what's gonna really get everything set up and going. As you mentioned, both Bazelak and Lucian Anderson taking snaps. We still do not have any word on who is potentially starting, but we will get that update. If we get those updates, ladies and gentlemen, we will of course pass them along to you once we get them. But looking at the offensive side for Kent State, they have some firepower as well. One of their big receivers, Krishawn McCray, so far has 25 receptions, 522 receiving yards on the year, and 7 touchdowns. He's definitely going to be one to look out for the Golden Flashes today, Artie.
Oh, absolutely. And this is going to be, I think this is a big test for the secondary group for Bowling Green. You obviously have a lot of wide receivers on this Kent team, which I think you could look at their record. You could view them like, oh, they're 0-6. This is an easy game. But no, you have to watch out for this offensive attack because, like you mentioned, Luke Floria, 25 receptions, 421 yards, 4 touchdowns as well, along with McCray. And then you have Tommy Ulowski, who has 748 yards in the season, 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He is just a redshirt sophomore, so he's obviously been we mentioned that earlier, like once he started playing, their offense really kicked into a new gear. So this is a big test for guys like C.J. Brown, Jordan Oladokin, Edward Rambo for Bowling Green to see how well they can play against this type of competition in the MAC.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely a lot of key players we are going to have to keep up as everything is getting hyped up right now. We see Kent State over there getting hyped up in their own end zone. Bowling Green is currently heading back to their locker room, getting those final preparation. And that's one of the fun things about football, Artie. I played a little bit of high school, and once you get back in that locker room in the final time before you go out and battle, it is definitely a I wouldn't say high blood pressure experience, but definitely the anticipation, the energy is at an all-time high before you hit that field for the first time.
My parents never allowed me to play football. They were afraid my body was going to break in half. So I played a lot of Madden, though, so I know a little bit about trying to get yourself hyped up. But it feels like what we saw pregame, it did feel like they had a little pep in their step, a little energy, maybe that they haven't had in recent weeks. They looked pretty ready. I saw both Lucian Anderson and Bazelak taking reps, so it'll be interesting once we get down to game time.
You really have to question on if that is a game time decision, as we are currently trying to figure out the injury reports as of right now, as they are trying to be passed along to us. But like we said, if we get any more info, we will, of course, pass it along to you. Beautiful day for Bowling Green football. We are going to step aside and take another break. Don't go anywhere here on Falcon Radio.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing! everything.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
BGSU Hockey travels to New York to take on Rochester Institute of Technology Saturday, October 19th at 7:07 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
What is hope? Hope to me was just that he would get to come home. I had no idea how hard it would be once he got back.
I wish she'd stop drinking so much. She thinks it's helping, but it's not.
I act like I don't care if he comes to my games, but I hope he does.
I hoped he'd get help. He told me to stop asking. I didn't. Then one day he asked for a ride.
Hope is knowing there are other families just like yours, that the veterans they love got help and recovered. Go to maketheconnection.net and turn hope into action.
To prepare for possible telecom outages, create an emergency communications plan. First, check important cell phone contacts and note local non-emergency numbers. Store at least one contact as in case of emergency, and make sure that person knows if you have medical issues. Also, make sure everyone in your house knows how to text. Check backup batteries and fully charge all phones and rechargers, and sign up to receive mobile alerts. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. But for many adults with disabilities who are elderly or have serious medical issues, dental care is simply unaffordable. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to just see one of the many patients in need. You can literally change a life. Visit willyouseeone.org to help change one life in your community today.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers, how they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
I'm Fuad Revais, a home builder. Did you know there's a deadly, invisible radioactive gas that can seep into homes from underground? It's radon. Breathing radon can cause lung cancer. So protect your family. Talk to your builder. Tell them you want a healthier, safer, radon-resistant home.
Learn more. Visit the EPA at epa.gov/radon. That's epa.gov/radon. This public service announcement is brought to you by the EPA, who does not endorse this particular builder or any other commercial enterprise.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of heart disease. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14,
41, 31, 13.
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. I realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself, and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits, or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzz is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm gonna start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back at Doyle L. Perry Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, the band just finished up the national anthem. They're currently still on the field right now as the Falcons are ready to come out right now, but we just received word during our little bit of a long break that we got the injury reports back. Let's start out with the Kent State Golden Flashes injury lineup. So currently the players that are listed out right now are Oliver Balot, Dallas Branch, Hunter Hopperton, and Nicholas Garcia Colon. And the only questionable player that they have right now is the 18 of Terrell Miller. Meanwhile, once we scroll back up to Bowling Green, they have what I would call a big laundry list of injury reports. One of the big key individuals is number 2, R.J. Garcia II. And Artie, we talked a lot not us, Scott Lefter talked a lot about how he was very confident that Garcia would be able to play today, but it looks like, unfortunately, that will not be the case.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. And right now, as we're seeing, they're doing a senior day celebration for some of the seniors for Bowling Green. Taking a photo.
Senior day, no matter what sport here at this school, is always important. Seeing the players with their families that have played a big impact in their lives is always something special. But going back to the injured list, on the questionable side of things is number 1 of Jordan Oladukan, a big piece to Bowling Green's roster. That's going to be a big loss. And then also questionable is the man that we have talked about so far, number 7, Connor Bazelak. So it looks like it will be a game time decision on whether or not we will see number 7 out on the field.
Yeah, he is suited up today. That's slightly a good sign for us today.
If he was out in uniform, that would not be a great sign, as currently the seniors are still going through the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, with the band all around them, and that is definitely gets a little bit emotional because, especially for family members, seeing, like we mentioned, they played such a big impact in these players' lives, and that's just something that you always love to see.
Yeah, right now Connor Bazelak just got his. Levi Gazarek seems to be up next, both seniors, and their families are out there. It's a very special moment. Jordan Oladokin, who we talked about just now, is also out there with his family.
Definitely very interesting to watch, as a little bit of a silent crowd to honor those who have, really done well and, paving the way for future Falcons to come, because, when these seniors eventually go out from this roster, it will all be about the next man up. So, Artie, just talk about, the next man up, the ideology of that and how important it is for just any sport in general.
Yeah, for college, you always want to have depth. You're always going to want a guy who's like developing behind your senior, behind your starter. Kind of like what Lucian Anderson is right now to Connor Bazelak. You sort of saw that he's been behind him for 2 years now. So that's always important. And that next man up mentality, you always have to be ready to play, ready to go. Luckily for college, the seniors usually play the entire season, so there's a lot of chance for guys to come in and develop. Also with the transfer portal, you have guys coming in and whatnot. But the next man mentality, I always view it as just, can you go out there and can you play a great game? Because it's not always about just playing as well as the next guy in front of you. It's about, can you help this team win? And I think that's what coaches look for.
That is the name of the game for the Scott Leffler group here in Bowling Green, Ohio. Some other notable players that are currently out right now. Number 5 of Jalen Tillman, who is a slot wide receiver. So far, he has no catches on the year. Darius Lorfils, number 9. Flip it to the sheet right here. One of the free safeties on the BG side currently has 11 tackles on the year. So the junior safety will unfortunately not be today. Some other notable names: Demetrius Hardiman, Finn Hogan, both number 11s, Camden Orth, Sincere McNeil, Jackson Cleather, and as we mentioned, a lot of other notable names on this list as well. So
some of them aren't that surprising. Orth has been dealing with injuries since the season started. He's been out. Demetrius Hardiman, he hasn't played since he got that injury, that season-ending injury against Michigan, and he has not played thus far. Michigan last season, I should say. So he's not played thus far since then or this year. So some of what you would expect, but guys like Finn Hogan, that's kind of a big deal, because I remember I mentioned on the swoop, our WBG, FMSN's WBG radio show, that I wanted to see another guy on the wide receiver team step up a little, and I mentioned his name. So it is unfortunate that he is out today.
Speaking of BG Falcon Radio, if you are a fan of Falcon athletics in general, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, or just volleyball, or anything in general, be sure to tune in Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. for the Zig Zone. A lot of Falcon Media Sports Network people just sit down and just talk about some of the hottest takes in Falcon sports today. The Zig Zone at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights on BG Falcon Radio. We'll step aside real quick as they are currently still doing introductions. Stay with us here on BG Falcon Radio.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
BG men's soccer battles 15th-ranked Missouri State in a high-stakes road matchup on Sunday, October 20th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap of the game available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain, and reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives like physical therapy to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpt.com to find a physical therapist in your area.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, and, of course, companionship. Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance so common with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This season, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS. We will bring you broadcasts of home matches for BGSU men's and women's soccer featuring FMSN's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Henry Costco. Head over to the WBGU PBS YouTube channel to listen in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again here at Doyle L. Perry Stadium as we are just awaiting for kickoff between the Falcons and the Golden Flashes. I'm Carter Leonard alongside Artie Abrego. Artie, it's officially time. Any final thoughts before kickoff?
I'm just ready to see a good game between the two teams today. For BG, I feel like they just got to get off to a good start. You want to have that confidence headed into Toledo, but you cannot overlook Kent State. They got to play their best football today.
Absolutely. Momentum has always been the name of a game, no matter what type of sport you are playing. As we are currently viewing right now, they are set to give the coin toss. Still waiting word on who won the coin toss as we were sitting back and just talking it up for all you viewers and listeners out there. So, Kent State, as we remind you, are currently 0-6 in the season and 0-2 in Mid-America Conference play. Bowling Green, they have a little bit of a better record at 2-4, but 1-1 in conference play. They are looking to go 2-1 to start out today as everybody is making their way onto the sidelines as players, refs, camera crews. We're ready to see a great game.
And Kent State won the toss, so they're going to elect to kick, and Bowling Green will receive the football to start out this game. And the guy we mentioned that we got to watch out for today, Harold Fanning Jr., 1 yard away from being the leading tight end in receiving yards in BGSU history. So all he needs is just 1 yard, and he's broken his 6th record for Bowling Green.
History is on the line today for Harold Fannin Jr., and I don't think Artie, if you ask me, I don't think he's done yet. You mentioned possibly the sixth broken record that he might have today. I don't think he's close to stopping anytime soon.
I mean, what hasn't he broken? He's got the touchdown record. He's got 50 receptions on the season, 701 yards, about 5 touchdown receptions. What hasn't this guy done? And I've been watching him. I've had the pleasure of watching him since my freshman year here. He's a junior, so I got to see him, and the progression has been insane for Harold Fanning Jr. Like, you've seen him grow in confidence year after year after year. You just knew immediately when he stepped on this campus that he was going to be a guy that they were going to lean on offensively, and he's developed so well. And it's really a credit to Coach Leffler and all the coaching staff like Alex Mayer who have made him into the player that he is.
As a reminder, Kent State won the toss. They've elected to defer. BG will receive, and Kent State will defend the south end zone. Once again, glad to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful Saturday afternoon for college football as we are officially getting set to go here this afternoon in the Doit. Rakeem Smith and Jason Patterson are back to receive for Bowling Green. As once again, we're getting ready to kick off Kent State. Waiting for the official call.
An absolutely packed Doit L. Perry Stadium, I might add. A lot of people here for family weekend, as we mentioned earlier.
A great crowd on hand as we are getting ready. Kent State will now officially kick it off. Looks to be able to go back into the end zone for a touchback as the BG Falcon offense is getting ready to go out there. And, ladies and gentlemen, big update. Connor Bazelak is out on the field. He will be starting out today. And Artie, it's time to get that momentum started.
Absolutely. Connor Bazelak, a couple of days ago, he got 1,000 completions in his collegiate career. He's the 41st player to do that. He is also one of the only 3 quarterbacks in the country with 10,000 passing yards to his name.
1st and 10 on the Kent State 35. Bazelak takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Terrion Stewart. Stewart breaks a lot of tackles. He's moving to the outside, past the 50, and what a great start for the young running back, Terrion Stewart. That is how you get started for the BG Falcons.
And I love that move, that juke move. It just took him right to the outside, and when you got to run down the side a little bit, a great start this game. That's exactly what I was talking about pregame. Get off to that hot start. Get your momentum up. Get your confidence up.
They are now at midfield as the Falcons will have a new set of downs. Bazelak takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Stewart again. Stewart going to try to get past the outside, but is met by a lot of Golden Flash defenders, and that will set up a second down.
Right now, Kent State defense is allowing 272.8 rushing yards per game. And Stewart's going to go to the sideline here.
Stewart checks out, and Jason Patterson checks in. He's had a solid start to the season as well. Bazelak will take a snap. He'll hand it off to Jason Patterson and will gain maybe about 2 to 3 yards on the carry, and that will set up third down and 10. My apologies. Just waiting for the scoreboard to check in.
And like Bazelak, he was one of the players who played against Kent last year in that dominating victory. He scored a touchdown in that game as well.
Number 10 tight end Levi Gazarek will check in. So far 3 receptions and 23 yards on the season for him. Once again, third down and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. Bazelak will take the snap. He drops back, still looking. He's going to throw it downfield, and it will be incomplete, but there is a flag back around the BG area of the field, and it looks like that will be on the Falcons. We'll see here.
Looks like they were singly holding. We'll have to. There has not been an official announcement, I'd say, but he did.
Holding. Offense. Number 50.
And on that play right there, Bazelak was looking for number 1, Malcolm Johnson Jr., who's had a really impressive start to the season as well. You know, we talk about Fannin Jr. being the receiving guy, but like he has 24 catches, 224 yards, and a touchdown to his name. So good start for him to the year.
And the hold was called on BG's Alex Walschlager. He's a redshirt senior. So not a pretty good run by Terrence Stewart. Ends up going nowhere as they go out. They putter out at the midfield line.
BG will punt it away to number 0, Luke Floria for the Kent State Golden Flashers. It's punted away, and Floria will call the fair catch, and it'll be right around the 10-yard line as the Golden Flashes offense is set to hit the field.
And Drew Peterson for the Falcons. He has been very good for them. He is John Henderson, I should say. He's been very good for them. He's averaging about 42.3 yards per punt. So really good position here that he's put the defense in. They're on the 11-yard line. And as we see, the freshman quarterback, the redshirt sophomore quarterback, Tommy Yultowski, who has really helped this Kent State offense explode, averaging about 34 points per game since starting MAC play.
Here come the Golden Flash offense. Yultowski is out there on the field. Still waiting the final signal from the Golden Flash offense. Yultowski takes a stab. He's going to hand it off. And he'll look. Gained about 5 yards on the carry, and I believe that was number 3, Kai Thomas, who's currently the leading rusher for Kent State. So far, 206 rushing yards, averaging 3.3 average per carry, and a touchdown to his name so far. So definitely the running game is going to have to be looked out for today. 2nd down and 4 for Kent State. And it looks like Bowling Green trying to load the box right here as there's a little bit of a final adjustments on the left side of the field. Yultowski, he'll drop back, but he'll throw it all the way out, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Kai Thomas, but what great job by the pressure for the Bowling Green defensive line bringing that pressure.
Yeah, that was Anthony Hawkins, who just absolutely exploded through that offensive line to create that pressure. And it was a screen pass. Yultowski couldn't get the angle on it, and it just goes out of its reach. But it was a pretty risky move, that play-action screen that they were going for.
The bells are tolling, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd down and 4 for Kent State. This is going to be a big 3rd down for the Falcons if they try to get this going. There's trips all the way out to the left side of the field, so that's something you have to keep an eye on here. Yultowski, he'll take the snap. He's going to look. He has all day to throw. He's going to find his receiver, and Floria makes the grab, and he will get the 1st down. Looked like he was almost out of bounds, but it looks like he got 1 foot in. That'll be a new set of downs for Kent State.
Yeah, I thought he went out, but it looks like he just got 1 foot down, and it was really, really, really close, and they went on the hurry-up.
Kai Thomas will get the stab. He's going to look. He almost broke away, but was just wrapped up short, and that will be another 1st out for Kent State. The tackle was made by number 3, I believe.
Joseph
Sipp Jr., my apologies, who is currently leading the team in tackles so far for Bowling Green. The young junior has had a really impressive season in the linebacker core.
And if he doesn't make that tackle, it looked like he was going all the way, Kai Thomas. He had some angle. He had the grass. It just got his hands wrapped around his ankles and brought him to the ground.
Ball on the 43, a new set of downs for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Yultowski signaling to his O-line to make sure that you get the call right. Yultowski, he'll take the snap. He'll hand it off to Kai Thomas once again, and Thomas really running the ball really, really hard as he picks up right around 5 to 6 yards, and that will set up 2nd down, and if we can get picked up about 5, so 2nd down and 5 for Kent State.
And Kent State going with a really run-heavy offense here. A lot of play-action calls so far, a lot of runs up the middle. So I feel like they're definitely trying to wear down this Bowling Green front 4, who have been so good we have 17 sacks on the season. So they're definitely trying to make sure they're just getting those dink and dunk plays, getting those yards quickly.
Yultowski, he'll get the snap. He'll fake it. He'll run with it. He looks off to this right-hand side and is incomplete. And he was looking for I believe that was number 19, Ally Fisher, the young junior who has 1 reception, 13 yards on the season, and that pass was incomplete, just a little bit too low for Fisher to get the grab on.
Yeah, number 15 for the Falcons, A.B. McGarry, got his hands up, the redshirt senior, got his hands in Ulowski's face, really disrupted that play, and Ulowski just threw it straight into the ground.
For the 2nd time this drive, it is a big third down for the Falcons and the Kent State Golden Flashes. 3rd down and 5, ball on the 47, almost at midfield. Yultowski still waiting to get the signal here as Bowling Green loads up the box. Yultowski takes a snap. He'll look. He drops back, and he will be sacked on the ground. A big play for the Bowling Green defense as number 23, believing that is Miles Bradley, came up with the sack.
First sack on the season for Miles Bradley, and it's the 18th of the season for the Falcons. And that was a really good run there for a lot of no-huddle plays for Kent State, a lot of runs, but they just couldn't get it done.
A lot of the hurry-up offense for Kent State as they are waiting to punt it away. Number 16 for BG. Once again, that is Rakeem Smith. He will be back to receive, and he's just going to let this one bounce in. Very nice punt as they are going to almost down it at either the 1 or 2 yard line. So a great punt from the special teams from Kent State as the Falcons come back on the offense once again for their second drive of the first half.
Looks like they're going to mark it at the 2 yard line.
So, obviously the first drive got off to a really hot start when Terrion Stewart got the rushing, got it right around the 50-yard line, but then it just kind of stalled out for a little bit. So, on this drive, you're looking for a little bit more, wouldn't you say, Artie?
Oh, absolutely. You're just looking for just to make sure that momentum keeps going after that sort of puttered out after that Terrion Stewart run, just 3 straight outs like that. And there's obviously a lot to talk about when it comes to the Bowling Green offensive struggles. They only scored 7 points last week against NIU, so looking off to get to a hotter start here.
And currently the cheer teams are off right now. The teams are currently in the huddle right now. And with that, we're going to take a break along with them. Don't go anywhere, people. Stay with us here on Falcon Radio.
All over America, people are taking the National Radon Test. Have you? Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false. The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. True.
I'm gonna dial the number and call.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Did you ever ride your bike with a clothespin and a baseball card? Or use a typewriter for a school paper? Then here's a timely alert. Americans born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, which often has no symptoms, but is a leading cause of liver cancer. The good news? Treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Doyle L. Perry Stadium. So far, we are already a lot of minutes in. So far, is currently nothing between the Bowling Green Falcons and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Once again, Carter Lerner alongside Artie Abrego. Artie, once again, we said you're going to have to start building a lot more momentum on this Bowling Green offense. I think this is the perfect drive to do so.
Absolutely. We mentioned earlier, they got off to a good start. That long Terrion Stewart run got him the longest rush of the day. He got about 26 yards on that run, but then went nowhere the next run. So you gotta have to build something. And you're at the 2 now, so I'm not expecting anything crazy out of them. This feels like a drive where just okay. We just gotta get out of the end zone. We just gotta do something to get out of the end zone. Nothing crazy, nothing flashy.
That is the big part. They are now down at the 2 as officially 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Dangerous territory for BG to stay foot in. Still waiting for that snap as Baselak gets everything officially set up here. Baselak will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Terrion Stewart, and Stewart breaks away. He's going to get off the sideline here, and he will get past the 20. So, as you mentioned, Artie, that is definitely something you want to do to get yourself out of your own end zone. Great job by Terrion Stewart.
And the patience by Terrion Stewart on the run. He stopped for a second, analyzed everything, he then went up the middle. And just amazing. Like, once there was like a tiny hole that just closed there from the offensive line, and he got to the 30 with it.
A new fresh set of downs, ball on the 21-yard line as the Falcons continue to march downfield. Baselak will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Stewart again, and he is met with a wall of humanity, a.k.a. Golden Flashes players, and that will set up 2nd down.
Yeah, just absolutely nowhere to go for Terrion Stewart. Another just no-yard rush, unfortunately, and that was a tackle made by, I believe that was one of the Kent State, front 4.
2nd down and 10 for the Falcons. No gain on the play. Baselak will fake the handoff. There's Harold Fannin Jr. with the reception. He'll be past the 40, right around midfield, 50. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Harold Fannin Jr. strikes once again. And with that, he breaks yet another record, ladies and gentlemen.
He is now at 1,593 yards on the season, 50 more than his tight end head coach, Alex Bayer. And what a moment for Harold Fanning Jr. He just needed 1, and he got 50.
Falcons are marching into Golden Flash territory. Ball on the 47, 1st down and 10. Baselak will take the snap. He'll fake. And what a grab by Harold Fanning Jr. He one-handed the grab and pinned it to his helmet, reminiscent of David Tyree in Super Bowl 42. What a grab by Fannin Jr. for yet another Falcons first down.
I thought Bazelak overthrew him, but he bobbled it in his head for a second. As you mentioned, just grabbed it right to his helmet, and he ran all the way down. An insane grab, and he's going to go off the field here. He was a little slow to get up, but he was able to walk away on his own power.
And number 81 for the Falcons, that is Elijah Boyd, who was checked in for Hale Fannin Jr. 1st and 10 on the Golden Flashes 31. Malcolm Johnson in motion. He'll head off to the left side. Bazelak takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Terry Patterson. Patterson's going to break away, and he will be stopped right around the 10. My apologies. It is Jason Patterson getting the snap, and that is yet another first down as they will set up on the 12-yard line.
And what a run by Patterson. Very reminiscent of that Terrence Stewart run earlier. Patterson, he's got a little more power in his runs, I would say, so not as much speed as Terran would have, but a really great run. He found the hole. He was looking for a score, another touchdown against Kent like he did last year, but he was stopped at about the 12-yard line.
1st and 10 on the 12 for the Golden Flashes. Bazelak takes a snap. He'll dump it off to Patterson. Patterson trying to get room on the outside, but will be just stopped right around, I would say, the 14-yard line. Goes absolutely nowhere. Gain of about maybe 1, perhaps, and that will set up, actually a loss. I apologize. It is now 2nd down and 13, so a loss of yardage is never really good.
Yeah, 3. I understand the decision to go there. Sometimes tosses, they can catch a defense off guard, but just not a good execution there. And Kent State had that one read from the beginning.
2nd down and 13, ball on the 14-yard line. Bazelak takes a snap. He'll fake it, and it's going to be a trick play from Malcolm Johnson Jr., but he is wrapped up and goes absolutely nowhere. Met up by a lot of Golden Flashes. I believe it might have been Mason Woods making the tackle right there, or perhaps Nylan Brown. Malcolm Johnson trying to do a little bit of trickery on that play, try to go out to the left side on the outside, but just goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Tevin Tucker made the tackle on Malcolm Johnson Jr. there, and I understand that decision again, but they lost 4 yards, so they're trying to – I think they're thinking about this too much. They're trying to catch the Kansas State defense off guard, where a lot of their big plays has been straight up runs.
3rd down, 17. Bazelak takes. He's got all day to throw. He might run it. Bazelak off to the sideline, but he will be just stopped just short of the 10-yard line, and that will set up 4th down. And it looks like the field goal unit will be coming on for the Falcons.
And I think that was a good decision by Bazelak there. You obviously he was looking downfield the entire time, but there's just nothing there. It was a 5-yard run for Bazelak, and he was looking. Kent State had everything covered.
It is now a decent field goal attempt, and right around the 20-yard line. The kick is up. It sails through, and it is good. So just like that, it might not be 6 points, but the Falcons draw first blood as they will lead 3-0 here with just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. With that, we'll step aside for a little break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere here on BG Falcon Radio.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, and, of course, companionship. Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance so common with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Falcon Women's Soccer battles Eastern Michigan at Cochran Stadium on Thursday, October 24th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and a recap for the match available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Dwight L. Perry Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now joining us, the Falcons kicked the field goal by, it was number 46 of
Zach
Long. And so far the score is 3-0 here in Bowling Green, Ohio. Carter Leonard joining Artie Abrego once again. And Artie, that time for the offense for Bowling Green was a lot better, but 3 is better than nothing at the end of the day.
Absolutely. They put a very good drive together that started from the 2 and ended on the 14-yard line, which resulted in a field goal. Just a really solid game plan. But once they got into the red zone, they kind of puttered out a little. They tried that toss play, tried a trick play to Malcolm Johnson. Both ended up for loss of yards, 3 and 4 respectively. So maybe some questionable decisions on the offensive side once they got into that closer to the end zone, but it felt like they were overthinking things. They got into a really good position after that Jason Patterson run that set up in a really good spot, and then they've tried to, I think I understood this, didn't try to catch him off guard, try to get that big play going, but just didn't really work out.
And with that, the Falcons will kick it away as we have 5 minutes and 29 seconds left already in the first quarter. It has gone by fast. Back to receive for the Golden Flashes. Let's see the numbers here. Our apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially kicked off here, and it'll be received as they'll take it out here. A little bit of a cutback move, but stopped right around the 15-yard line. And I believe that might have been, we apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It is still a little bit far away to see the numbers. I believe that was number J.B. Alawalu with the reception, number 26. So with that being said, a new drive for the Kent State Golden Flashes as they were stopped short after that Ulatowski sack. So what are some of the key things you're going to have to see from Kent State here, Artie?
Kent State, they did a lot of no-huddle offense, a lot of shotgun plays during their first drive. So I assume it's going to be the same thing. As they look like they're about to snap the ball right away.
First down and 10 on the 16 for Kent State. Ulatowski, and there may be a flag as there's potentially a false start. Saw a lot of movement on the right side of the offensive line, and we'll see what the call is right here as the refs are currently huddled up.
It looked like Charlie Skihan, number 44, primarily used as a blocking tight end, was still in motion.
And we stand corrected. It was delay of game from the defense. It looked like that there was something going on the other side of the defensive line that the Falcons did not like, and that will result in a 5-yard penalty, making it first down and 5 on Kent State's own 21.
They called it as an illegal formation on the Falcons.
Trips to the left. First down and 5. See a little bit of movement from the offensive line. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He'll hand it off to Kai Thomas. Kai Thomas breaks away past the 40, past the 50, 40, and he will be just wrapped out of bounds. Number 6 for the Falcons, Mr. I apologize, C.J. Brown. Strong safety with 22 tackles on the year will make the stop, but what a job by Kai Thomas getting on the outside.
Yeah, they just had a wide open set of grass for his taking. He went right away and ran a really long run there, and he had just so much space, so much grass, and good job by number 6 for the Falcons, Chris Long, to make that tackle. C.J. Brown, I should say.
Yep. First down and 10 on the 39. They are entering in Falcons territory here. Ulatowski will take the snap. He headed off to Kai Thomas Jr. again. Thomas breaks away. He's going to gain some blockers out front, swishing back and forth, and he will be just stopped past the 20-yard line. Another big run for Kai Thomas.
Looks like the number 99 for the Falcons, Ale Siad, made the tackle there. He just got shoved in the back, Kai Thomas. He made another great run. So 2 in a row, and he's going to come off the field here. I mean, he's got to be a little tired after those 2 long runs, except in a really good position on the 19-yard line.
Ali Salat, as you mentioned, already 2.2 sacks on the year and 9 tackles from the senior, number 99. So great to see him get some productivity, even if it's going the wrong way. First down and 10 on the 19 as the Kent State Golden Flashes found some momentum. He'll head it off. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He'll look, he'll fire, and it's incomplete. Believe he was looking for number 2, Krishawn McCray, the leading receiving leader for the Kent State Golden Flashes, as that will set up 2nd down and 10, still on the 19-yard line. As great coverage from the Falcons right there.
That was Jordan Oladokin, who was questionable pregame, but he is playing right now along with Bazak, who's also questionable. So really good coverage there. Oladokin was looking right to the end zone, so that could have been a touchdown, possibly, but just overthrown. Really good coverage by Oladokin.
2nd down and 10 on the 19, as we mentioned. Curtis Douglas in the game, and apparently Kent State saw something they didn't like, and that will be a timeout for Kent State. And with that, we'll step aside with them. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back right here shortly here on BG Falcon Radio.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
Hey, I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to a presentation of the Falcon Media Sports Network on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
Back here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, the score still remains the same. The Falcons up 3-0, but Kent State, they came out swinging this offensive drive as they are already on the 19-yard line in Falcon territory. So, already, momentum is definitely swinging for the Golden Flashes right now.
Yeah, Kent State fans have got to be singing the praises of one Kai Thomas, who had that big 38-yard rush that really set him up good in this territory, and another big run that set him up even better on the 19-yard line.
Just coming out of a timeout break. Still remains 2nd down and 10 on the 19-yard line with just a little less than 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. As we hear the band playing everything. A packed house today, too. Falcon Family Weekend. A lot of people supporting their children and, well, students, I should say. And just a lot of them are Falcon alum, too. So always great to have these events on campus no matter what sporting event it involves in as well.
Brock Horn just got his last little bit of information from his defensive coach there before he ran back out onto the field.
Brock Horn, the leader, the second individual leading the linebackers and tackles so far. 13 tackles and 0.5 sacks on the year. The senior has done a really solid job at the middle linebacker position as we are set to resume play here. As Kent State is still getting information. Still have yet to line up, still waiting to hear the whistle as everything is still trying to be set in stone right now.
Looks like they're going to set up in shotgun formation. Kai Thomas back in the game for the Golden Flashes.
And just like that, we are about to resume play, ladies and gentlemen. Yutowski, he'll take the snap. He'll give it to Kai Thomas. And Thomas wrapped up right then and there. Tackle was made by number 13, Charles Roser, the senior who has 18 tackles and 4.5 sacks on the year. Made the tackle and is now 3rd down and 11. The Falcons definitely need to stop right here.
Yeah, absolutely. They were all over that, the Falcons. Charles Roser, he immediately had a read on that play. And Kai Thomas, after 2 strong runs, just went nowhere.
Still remains 3rd down here as the crowd is getting loud here at the Doy. Yultowski, he'll take the snap. He'll drop back. He looks. He fires into the end zone, and it is incomplete. He was looking for his receiver out to the left side of the field. I believe that might have been Krishawn McCray again, and that is Krishawn McCray, and that will set up 4th down as the Golden Flashes will look to tag on a field goal attempt.
And number 12 for the Falcons, free safety Tracy Rivas, just immediately ran right through that offensive line. He had his hands up. He looked like he was going for a sack, but he got his hands up, really disrupted that play from Tommy Ulanowski and got in his face, and that was causing an overthrow. It was close. It looked like they did have something there for the Golden
Will
Flashes.
Risco's kick is up, and it is good. So just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are tied 3 apiece here at the Doyle L. Perry Stadium with just a little over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And with that, we'll take another break. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us here on BG Falcon Radio.
Titans go!
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come! Road trip! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. We're finally on the big screen. Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Flashes just stormed down the field and kicked a field goal from Will Risco, number 47, and they have tied the game up 3-3. 3 minutes and 15 to go here in the first quarter, and so far it's a bit of a slow start here, Artie.
Yeah, both teams, they got down to into the red zone. A lot of strong plays, a lot of big runs so far we've seen. Two from Darian Stewart and 2 from Kai Thomas. So strong start running-wise, but passing-wise, it's been a bit of a struggle so far for both teams.
Risco's kick will go up, and it will sail through the end zone for a touchback as the Falcons offense will step onto the field once again. And so far the player of the game that I've really been noticing is Terrion Stewart. Aside from Harold Fannin Jr., Terrion has been running the rock really, really well, and Patterson as well, so the backfield for the Falcons has definitely been impressive so far.
Oh, absolutely. He's been far and away the MVP so far with his offense. 2 big rushes to set him up in really good scoring positions.
First down and 25 for the Falcons here. Bazlak will take the snap. He's going to look. He's going to drop back. He's going to try to find Fannin in double coverage, but it is incomplete, and that pocket was quickly collapsing as Bazlak took a shot on the play right there, and that will set up second down and 10, still on the 25.
And Fannin Jr., he did have separation over those 2 defenders. There's a little bit of space there to maybe make something happen, but just a little overthrown. That pressure really came crashing down on Bazlak as that pocket collapsed.
Trips all the way out to the right for the Falcons. That is still second down. Terrion Stewart is now checked in the game. Motion from Elijah Boyd. He'll give the handoff to Terrion Stewart. Stewart, he's going to break away. He's going to get past the 40 as that is a BG Falcons first down. Terrion Stewart once again showing why he's one of the best in the MAC.
I thought that play was going nowhere. It looks like he almost disappeared behind that offensive line, but it looked like he pushed off him and then broke out to the outside to get that big gain.
It's like a scary movie, Artie. You don't know what's going to pop out until the very last second. So, once again, a great job for Terrion Stewart as that will set up another first down for the Falcons. Ball on the 39-yard line as Kent State comes with a blitz, and Terrion Stewart tries to break away, but it looks like he'll gain about maybe 2 to 3 or even 4 yards on the carry as that ball will be placed on the 38-yard line as that is a gain of 3 for Terrion Stewart. So that will set up second down and 7.
And they had outside linebacker Kent State, number 10, Kanan Williams, really blow right through there. It looked like they were going for a sack right away, but Bazlak, he made the handoff.
The lowest man wins at the end of the day, second down and 7. A little bit of motion from the tight end there. Bazlak, he'll take the stab. He'll hand it off to Stewart for the 3rd time this drive. Stewart breaks multiple tackles and trying to get out to the outside, but will be tackled at exactly the 50-yard line, and that will be another Falcons first down.
And I know we're talking about Terran, but a really great block there by Levi Gazaric, number 10. He got him on the outside, and he made a block on the defensive end that really made that hole for Terrion Stewart to pick up that first down.
When it comes to running plays, lineman and tight end will definitely be your best friends for a running back. So, ball exactly on the 50-yard line here. Kent State trying to show him blitz. Bazlak, he'll take the step. He'll fire. Caught by Malcolm Johnson Jr. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bowling Green.
What a play-action play there. Nothing but green grass when he found Malcolm Johnson Jr. on that slant. He had so much separation over his cornerback, it wasn't even close. He had a wide-open path to the end zone.
Malcolm Johnson Jr.'s 2nd touchdown of the year, and just like that, the Falcons will put 6 up on the board. And what a job by Connor Bazlak throwing that ball on a dime. Just picture-perfect play right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Not field goal, I'm sorry. Extra point by Zach Lom will be made right here. And the kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, the Falcons build that momentum as they will lead 10-3 with just a little over a minute left to go here in the first quarter. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a quick break, and we'll step aside. Please stay with us here on BG Falcon Radio.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back for the kickoff to start a new Kent State Golden Flash offensive drive, ladies and gentlemen, as we are coming back from the 50-yard reception from Malcolm Johnson Jr. to put 6 up on the board for Bowling Green. Currently the score is 10-3 with a minute and 21 left to go, and that was a picture-perfect play for the Falcons on that offensive drive, Artie.
I mean, you could have scripted anything better. A slant route, wide open, and nothing but green grass, and a 50-yard touchdown for Malcolm Johnson Jr. Couldn't have written it any better. And
as we have mentioned, that is his second touchdown reception of the year. Has had a couple of receptions so far in this game, but that is the big one so far, as Kent State will set up their offensive drive on the 25-yard line as their kick was a touchback in the end zone. A little bit of shotgun formation right there. Motion man immediately goes back. Yataski, he'll take the snap. He's going to look. He's going to drop back. Trying to scramble around is met with a bunch of brown and orange right there as that ball will sail out of bounds as Yolotowski could absolutely get nothing on that play.
And there's sort of a Jekyll and Hyde-like relationship between the passing offense for Kent State and the rushing offense. On the rushing side, you've got Kai Thomas, 6 attempts, 80 yards, a long room for 38. And on the passing side, Olodowski is 1 for 6 for 15 yards, and he's been sacked once. So a bit of a slow start here from the freshman quarterback who's been for the redshirt sophomore quarterback who's been really impressing he's really gotten this Golden Flash offense clicking in the past few weeks of MAC play.
Second down and 10 on the 25 once again. No gain on that play. Yolotowski, he'll take the snap. He's going to scramble. He's going to try to run, but is met with brown and orange once again. A great job by the Falcon defense, as I believe that was
Dontrez Brown.
Dontrez Brown who made the tackle. Scrambling through my list right now as that will set up 3rd down and 13. Ball on the 22 as the clock continues to wind down in the first quarter.
3rd down and 13 yards. A really long way to go, and they're going to have no running back in the backfield. This is going to be a straight-up pass play, I believe.
Going to have to question if they're going to air it out right here. 3rd down and 13 as Bowling Green is loading the box right now. Yotowski, he'll take the snap. He's going to dump it off to his receiver. Gets right around the 30-yard line, but it will not be enough for a first down. I believe the reception was made by J.J. Etheridge. And quick correction, that was number 84 of
Joseph Sipp Jr. made the tackle there for the Falcons.
And, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good tackle by Joseph Sipp Jr. there. As that will set up 4th down and 8. And they will punt it away. And that will be the end of the first quarter here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen. After 1 quarter of play, the score is Bowling Green 10, Kent State 3. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take another quick break here on BG Falcon Radio. Stay with us.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager.
Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for greatest of all time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself, and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits, or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzzed is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm gonna start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
Falcon men's tennis heads to the Cleveland State Invitational on Monday, October 21st through Tuesday, October 22nd. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Doyle Perry Stadium. The score still remains 10-3 as we are getting ready to kick off the second quarter. And, man, we've seen a lot more improvement from the BG Falcon offense. Got to wonder if that has been a little bit of extra pep in their step, as we have talked about a lot in the pregame so far, Artie.
Absolutely. A 50-yard touchdown to start things off, absolutely amazing. And then you've forced a 3 and out on your opponent's offense. So a really good end of the quarter for Bowling Green, and they've got things going now.
Currently, as of right now, we are recognizing a lot of alum who attended Bowling Green, as they are currently down with Bowling Green's very own president, Mr. Kenny Rogers. And once again, it's always cool to see these events happen because of the acknowledgement and the things that these people have accomplished. It's always great to see.
I mean, it would be really cool if Kenny Rogers was here. I agree, but Rodney Rogers.
Rodney Rogers.
I don't know I hope Rodney knows how to play guitar. That'd be really sweet.
Rodney Rogers. Currently, as of right now, it is Kent State football, as the Golden Flashes are looking to continue their offensive drive, as they're currently on the 27-yard line here, as they are, I believe it is still 4th down and 8.
It is, but both sides have flipped. So right now, Kent State is going to be attacking the right offensive side. They're going to be attacking the right end zone of the field, and now Bowling Green will be attacking the left.
As they are currently punting, Kent State's currently punting, and back to receive. I believe that is number 28 of Jason Patterson. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he calls a fair catch, as he has met with a lot of Golden Flashes. And that is one of the things that you see a lot on fair catches. When those guys approach you, they're trying to scare you. They're trying to make sure that you drop that ball and make a mistake.
Yeah, Justin Peggy's there, number 20, who made that a fair catch. He was the guy week 1 took against Fordham, took that 100 yards kickoff return to start off the season. Reese Patricas was on that call. You can hear it sometimes on our Falcon Radio or WBGU for our best call selections.
Start the second quarter.
1st down and 10 on the 33-yard line as the Falcons continue their momentum on the offensive drive. Bazelak, he'll take the snap, he'll drop back, he'll find Peggy, as we just mentioned, as he is wrapped out of bounds, but he is taking none of that mess from the defender number 20. I believe that is
Marquise Hicks, and he just threw him all the way into the sideline of Kent State, out of bounds.
Correction, that was Josh Baker on the defensive side, as we got our things confused. 2nd down and 7, as that's a 3-yard gain. Bazelak, he'll take the snap again. Quick pass to Harold Fannin Jr. as he will get around midfield, and that will set up another Bowling Green 1st down.
Harold Fanning on the slant route again. Bowling Green's loving their slant routes today. He was covered by number 32, Jaden Studio, who has 12 tackles in the season, going to be 13th now. And that was a really good quick pass by Bazelak, really good decision making. He saw Fanning Jr. right away.
Just like we saw in the previous drive, the Falcons are continuing to march down the field. Motion man going off to the right here. Bazelak, he'll take the snap again. Quick pass to Malcolm Johnson Jr. Johnson trying to find some room as he gets past the 40-yard line. Move the chains once again. Malcolm Johnson Jr., another impressive play as he is currently down on the field right now. And that is something that you do not want to see. He hops back up, but he is definitely ginger on that left leg as he sets back down once again. And we will take an injury timeout as things look rough right here. Please stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, as we await further word.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Back here at the Deloitte, ladies and gentlemen, just coming off an injury timeout and regarding Malcolm Johnson Jr., he was helped off the field, but clearly ginger on that left leg as he needed help. So obviously the main reason why Bowling Green is up 10-3 right now, and already that is just a tough situation.
Obviously, yes, it's obviously just awful. We can't really speculate on the injury. We don't have all the details, but it did like he's about to go into the tent now to get that further examined. And he was having a really good day. He had a 16-yard reception on the play where he got hurt. He currently has two receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown, that 50-yard touchdown, which just a couple of minutes ago. So it's really unfortunate to see, and it's really just awful. Obviously, we don't know the full extent of the injury, so we don't know how bad it could be. We don't want to speculate on what it is.
All we can hope is the best and make sure that he is okay. It is still first down and 10 on the 36, and that is the main reason Malcolm Johnson Jr., that last reception, got the Falcons a new fresh set of downs. Number 87 checks into the game, and that is currently trying to figure that out right now.
He is in motion right now.
He is in motion right now, and we'll get further word on that. Ball on the 36 as the Falcons are ready to go. Bazelak will take the snap. He'll fakes it. He hands it, throws it to Harold Fanning Jr. Fooled me with the fake handoff. It looked like he handed off to Terrion Stewart, but the fake handoff, always a play that works, and Harold Fanning Jr. will move the chains for the Falcons yet again.
A really good job there. Play action, like I said, fooled me too, and he found a wide open hole to find Harold Fanning Jr. on that. Another slant route for Fanning Jr.
First down and 10 on the 19 as they are currently moving to the start of the second quarter here. Bazelak, he'll take the snap, hands it off to Terrion Stewart. Stewart swishing back and forth and will set up right around first and goal. A good job by Terrion Stewart on that play and just the start of the game in general.
Yeah, just a really, really good start for Terrion Stewart. He's run for about 8 yards, got 79. That long run is 26. He's averaging 9.9 yards per carry.
Second down and 1 on the 5-yard line. Correction. Bazelak, he'll take the stab. He'll hand it off to Stewart once again, but is met by a lot of Kent State defenders there, and that will set up third down for the Falcons.
Yeah, just a wall of humanity there. He was really, really, really fighting to get that first down, and just unfortunately couldn't get it. It took a lot of Kent State defenders to bring him to the ground, though. I saw about 4 guys trying to tackle him at one point there.
Defense is the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. For Kent State, that was no different on that play. 3rd down and 2, ball on the 6. The Falcons looking to get something going right here. Rakeem Smith in motion. They'll hand it off to Terrion Stewart once again, but he is met by a brick wall. Kent State defenders once again making sure Terrion Stewart goes absolutely nowhere, and that will set up 4th down.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate there. You got number 53, Caden Betty, making that tackle, make sure he went nowhere. And that was actually for a loss, too. So it's now 4th down and 3rd as the field goal unit, Zach Long, he had a 32-yarder earlier, is going to come out.
They'll look to add a 10-point deficit to the game right now, as so far a little over a long way to go in the 2nd quarter before the end of the 1st half. So field goal unit out once again. Zach Long, they'll snap it, he'll kick it, and it sails to the uprights, and it is good. And with that, the Falcons will have a 10-point lead, making it 13-3 here at home. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us here as we take this little timeout. Stay with us here on BG Falcon Radio.
When severe weather causes telecom network outages, the FCC recommends that you call 911 only when necessary and limit non-emergency calls. Avoid repetitive redialing to minimize network congestion. Try texting if a call doesn't go through. Conserve cell phone power and turn off your phone when not in use. If evacuated, forward landline calls to your cell phone and use your outgoing message to update your status. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Back at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, we just got the field goal attempt good from Bowling Green, making it 13-3 with a little over 11 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Bowling Green driving down the field once again, but just stopped short like we saw in the very first offensive drive. So hopefully Bowling Green is not really reverting back to their early ways so far to start out this game.
I don't know if they're reverting back to early ways. It looks like they just telegraphed their drive a little too much. They were a little too obvious there. They ran 3 straight plays with Terrion Stewart trying to get up the middle. Both of them went nowhere, those last 2 attempts. So maybe just a little bit of just not being creative enough once we get down into that red zone area. Maybe they're trying to be a little more conservative after they tried a lot of trick plays, a lot of pull out the rabbit out of the magic hat, I should say, you know. But just sort of puttered out there. But they did still walk away with 3 points.
3 is better than none, as we have said earlier in this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. But you kind of wish that if you're on the BG side of things that you didn't want any sort of – you feel like that was probably a missed opportunity to gain something more out of that. But currently they have a 10-point lead, and the Falcons look to build off of that as – well, their defense will step on the field as they are looking to kick it away to Kent State as they are trying to find a little bit of magic of their own.
Yeah, they just got to put something together, anything. They have to get the pass game going. Ulanowski right now is 2 for 7, 19 yards, 28.6 completion percentage. He has not had a lot of success passing it. It's been mostly based off the run with Kai Thomas. So they have to get down the field. They got to get some passes going. Just any sort of momentum. I think they're going to look for some quick passes here. They're going to go back to the no-huddle offense, which served them well in the first.
Falcons kick it away right here. That ball will sail through the end zone. That will be a touchback as the Kent State offense, like we said, looks to create some momentum for themselves and get themselves back into this game as they are trying to get out, as they are getting out on the field, as the BG defense does the exact same. During the break, we had a little bit of a fun race for a little bit of prize money. You know, great to see a lot of entertainment at the Doy every single time. Gets the fans involved.
Absolutely. It was kind of a dominating win. I don't know the woman's name, but she really just destroyed it. It was like that Malcolm Johnson Jr. touchdown. There was nothing but green grass ahead of all the other competition.
1st down and 10 on their 25. Yoltowski will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Kai Thomas. Thomas breaks a few tackles, still stays on his feet, And it looks like he'll be just short of the first down, so it looks like a gain of 9 on the play.
Miles Bradley made the tackle there for the Falcons. And a really good move by Kai Thomas to avoid one of the defenders that got him a few extra yards. It looked like he was about to go nowhere, but a really quick step got him into good position to make a good run. And he's got 89 yards on the day now.
And Miles Bradley made that big sack earlier in the game. 2nd down and 1 on the 34 for the Golden Flashes. Still waiting the single from Tommy Ulatowski. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Kai Thomas once again, and that will be enough for a Golden Flashes first down. Now the ball will be set on the 40.
Kai Thomas on that 100-yard rushing watch. He's got 95 yards today, and he's averaging 11.9 yards per carry. Still looking for that touchdown, but he's had a really successful day. Is he going to check out? Actually, he's not going to.
There's trips to the left side of the field for Kent State, and one single on the right.
Looks like a screen might be coming here.
Look like a screen might be coming here. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He looks caught by number 2. That was Krishawn McCray with the reception. It looked like the defender, I believe
Jordan
that
Oladokin.
may have been. Go ahead, Artie.
Jordan Oladokin. He tried to get in there, disrupt that play, but a really good ball placement by Ulatowski to make that completion.
Looked like Oladokin might have broke away the pass there for a second, but McCray came away with it.
McCray is definitely the favorite target of this team. He's had 25 receptions over today, 7 touchdowns on the season.
2nd down and 6 on the 44-yard line as Kent State tries to move down the field here. Have a running back in the backfield and 2 receivers out to the left. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He handed off to Kai Thomas once again, and he is met by Orange and Brown, a brick wall of Orange and Brown, I should say, as that will set up 3rd down on the 46. 3rd down and 4 to be exact, as the Falcons look to gain another big stop right here.
And this is where they have to come away with something. Kent State, this is going to be a pass here. You got to get a completion going. You got to get across the sticks to get that first down. So it's going to be interesting what they call here with all their passing troubles here today.
3rd down and 4 for Kent State. Ulatowski, he'll take the snap. He'll drop back, but pocket is collapsing. That is incomplete.
Went right through the hands. I believe that was number 22.
Number 12
Martin.
And number 12, Tracy Rebels with the coverage there as well. Great job by the Falcon defense there, as that will set up 4th down, and Kent State will look to punt it away.
Yeah, freshman Deshaun Martin, it just looked like it went right through his hands when he tried to bring that in for Kent State. Not really as successful as they would like to be. They almost had a first, but another 3 and out for the Golden Flashes.
They'll look to punt it away here. And it will be a fair catch right around the 10.
I think they're going to spot it at the 9.
Spotted at the 9. Good eye, Artie.
Oh, they are going to spot it at the 10. My bad.
Never mind.
I guess I'm blind. I don't know. I thought it was.
I guess we were just flip-flopping back and forth. So
I thought he caught it on the 9.
On a serious note, another drive coming up for the BG Falcons as they look to build on their last one. They have scored the last 2 drives. You had that big Malcolm Johnson Jr. touchdown, was made it 10-3, and then you had the field goal attempt on the other far side of the field. Look to build on that once more as they currently lead 13-3.
Yeah, and, when you have 3 offensive drives in a row that come away with points, that's always a success. You've had a field goal, a touchdown, and another field goal. So a really good couple of drives here, Bowling Green. They got a lot of separation on their opponent here, up by 10.
And one big shout-out that I want to give to Bowling Green is the offensive line. When it comes to the ground game, Terrion Stewart or Patterson in the backfield or whoever it may be, when they block well, they create a lot of running room and a lot of separation for big runs to happen.
Yeah, 94 rushing yards total for the Falcons today. 77 from Terrion Stewart, 16 from Jason Patterson, and 5 from quarterback Connor Bazelak on that little 5-yard rush when they were first in the end zone, in the red zone, I should say, for Bowling Green.
And you mentioned Bazelak right there. We questioned if he was even going to be good to go, fully 100% to play this game. But so far, Bazelak, the senior, has done a really good job so far in this game, just doing your job. As the great coaches have always said, just do your job.
Absolutely. 7 for 9 today, 151 yards, 1 touchdown, that long touchdown to Malcolm Johnson Jr., which we mentioned a couple of times. He's just been playing smart football, making the smart passes, not forcing anything, taking his time while throwing. And we mentioned the run blocking. I think the pass protection has been really good today, too. No sacks so far on Bazelak, and he's been making all those smart decisions. There's a reason why he's got 1,000 completions in his collegiate career. It's because he makes those smart passes.
And you talk about the no sacks, that was something that Coach Scott Leffler was very lenient on. Like, there'd be times in games where the pass blocking just wasn't there. And once you don't have that pass blocking, ladies and gentlemen, it is just going to set up for a multitude of problems.
You're comparing this week's pass protection to last week against NIU is insanely different. This is a tale of two games. As NIU, Bazelak was constantly under pressure. He was sacked about 5 times before he had to go out due to injury. But he has been well protected here today. Not a lot of pressure, and a really good run blocking as well, as you mentioned.
As we mentioned, ball placed on the 10. That will set up first down and 10 for the Falcons as a brand new drive. He's able to start out. Bazelak, he'll take the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Looking for number 6, ended up being
Jamal Johnson,
but that pass is incomplete, and that will set up second down and 10 with no gain.
So they do a play-action play. Terrion Stewart, Jason Patterson said he was going to the right. Bazelak took the ball, went in motion, and then tried to throw it while on the run to Jamal Johnson. And it looked like he had some open space, Jamal Johnson, if he managed to connect with that.
Harold Fannin and Junior Moshe going down inside. Bazelak will take the snap. He'll drop back. He looks. He fires to Harold Fannin Jr. Breaks off a tackle. Breaks off another one. And will not go down as he is close to the first down marker, but they might mark him just short. Harold Fannin Jr., what else can we say about him?
I don't know what else we can do to describe it. He had about 4 defenders on him trying to bring him down. He just would not go down. Ran for about 4 more yards after making that reception.
And Reese Patrikas, who is the main broadcaster here, talked a lot about Harold Fannin Jr. being the size of a tight end but running like a wide receiver. That will create a lot of mismatches. Rakeem Smith in motion. He'll head off to the left-hand side. Bazelak, he'll take the snap. He'll hand it off to Patterson. Patterson almost bobbles the ball, and there might be a fumble on the play.
Kent State saying they have it.
There's currently a scrum for the ball, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Patterson, it looked like he got the ball from Bazelak and just immediately slipped through his hands a little. He still had possession of the ball, I should add, when he was balling through his hands, but it looked like it just bounced up and down, and he was focused more on trying to catch it again than he was trying to get the first down.
And that's something, and ball security for running backs have always been important. You have to have good ball security, otherwise it's going to create a bunch of problems. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Falcons will punt it away here. Luke Floria once again back to receive as he will call fair catch, and they will set up right around past the 35 to 40-yard line. And the Kent State Golden Flashes will set up for another offensive drive. Just a little bit of a few mistakes on that Bowling Green offense when they could have broke away and created a bunch of momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just sort of a momentum shift, I think. They obviously had 3 straight drives where they did score, but just not a lot of takeaway on that last drive. Just a little bit of struggles, They keep trying the 1-yard runs, which I respect, and I think they do work. I think that Patterson play was going to work before he bobbled the ball in his hands, but...
And another big benefit for the Bowling Green offense is that so far they have not committed any major penalties, so they are trying their best to minimize mistakes. Right now, the defense is on the field, first down and 10 on the 38. Yotowski, he'll take the snap, he'll drop back, play action, finds his tight end, and that will set up another first down. Charlie second with a little bit of a play action trickery, got the tight end in front, and that will set up a Kent State first down.
And Sky Hen, he's usually used as a blocking tight end, especially today. He's been in a lot of motion a lot. He's been blocking runs, and so to get a reception there, pretty cool for him, and it was a really good play. It looked like Lewandowski, he underthrew it just a little, but he was under pressure. So to complete that pass was a really good momentum builder for the Golden Flashes.
On the 45 now, a brand new fresh set of downs for the Golden Flashes here. A little bit of motion going on in the offensive. Yotowski, he'll take the snap. He'll drop back once again. Brings a lot of pressure. Scrambling out to his right, trying to find an open receiver, and it's thrown out of bounds.
Anthony Hawkins for the Falcons was chasing him down the entire time. And to keep that play alive with those guys was a really tough thing to do. He was looking towards the sideline.
And it looked like he was trying to find number 2, Chris Holm-McCray. And that pass, since there was a receiver in the area, it will not be intentional grounding. But that will set up 2nd down and 10 on the 45 once again. No gain, but no loss either for Kent State.
Yeah, I saw what he was going through. When I think it was a smart pass to make, just a little bit overthrown. He was in the right direction, but he was throwing it more towards the sideline than he was towards his receiver's hands.
A little bit of motion right here. Got a back in the backfield for Kent State now. And looks like Kent State has called a timeout here.
There's a lot of conclusion there in that offensive lineup. In that offensive play, I should say.
Yeah, if you looked off to the right there, it looked like the inside receiver was trying to motion, but then he just kind of moved back for a little bit. So we'll take this little timeout right here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere here on BG Falcon Radio.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
All right. Back here at the Deutsch, 2nd down and 10, ball on the 45, ladies and gentlemen, as we have coming back from a little timeout break from Kent State. Yotowski, he'll take the snap, hands it off to Kai Thomas once again. Thomas breaks a lot of tackles, finds a lot of room, and he'll be past the 40-yard line, but just short of the 1st down.
Looks like he was brought down by Joseph Sip Jr. and another Falcon. Pretty good run by Thomas there to get that first. Sorry, not the 1st down. He got him to 3rd and 1.
Kent State going up, hurry up, as there are multiple flags flying on the field. And Kent State might look like there was movement on the offensive line. Might be called for a false start here. We'll just have to wait and see.
They are moving back now, the offense for Kent State.
And it looks like it will be a false start.
False start. Many players on the offensive line.
Said many players on the offensive line, so plural, not even one guy. And I think that was a correct call. I saw a lot of movement.
Yeah, they really couldn't tell who was the one who initiated every single thing. It reminds me of like false start, everybody but the center. So
that's exactly what that was.
Little fun tidbit. 3rd down and 6, ball on the 41 for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Yotowski in the offense trying to gain some momentum here, trying to get some big points up on the board. As the crowd is really ramping up here at the Deutsch. Full crowd on display here today, as we have mentioned numerous times. Falcon defense looking for a big stop. Yotowski, he'll take the snap, hands off to Kai Thomas. But Thomas breaks one tackle, breaks another, and that will set up a Kent State 1st down. And that is just a missed opportunity for the Falcons right there that you cannot have.
Yeah, Joseph Sip Jr., it looked like he had it for a second, but Kai Thomas, he utilized that spin move to spin out of the tackle, and then 2 other Falcons defenders got him and swarmed him after he crossed the offensive line. And Kai Thomas now 11 attempts running, 115 yards, and he's averaging about 10.5 per carry.
They say the lowest man wins in football, but right there, it was not the case. So with that, ball on the 33, a brand new fresh set of downs for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Yotowski, he'll take the snap. He'll hand it off to Douglas. Douglas breaks a lot of tackles. Douglas gets past the 20, gets past the 15, and will be stopped right around the 10. So the backfield for Kent State getting multiple people going right there. It's not just Kai Thomas doing the heavy lifting.
It's a big tackle by Edward Rambo for the Falcons. Just a massive shove to bring down Curtis Douglas.
A lot of players checking in for Kent State right now. Trips all the way out to the left side. Back right next to Yotowski. 1st down and 10 on the 14-yard line here. Checking the signal, make sure everything's okay. Yotowski, he'll take the snap, hand it off to Douglas once again. And this time Douglas may have gained 1 to 2 yards, but the orange and brown of the Falcons will stop them yet again.
And Charles Rosser for the Falcons, who we haven't called his name much today, he was trying a little peanut punch going. I saw him from behind. He was trying to get the ball out. It's a little bit unsuccessful there. 2nd down and 7 now.
Ball on the 11-yard line. 3 flashes check out and 3 others check in. So a little bit of adjustment going on for the Golden Flashes offense right now. That is now 2nd down and 7 with just a little over 3 minutes to go in the first half. BG checking everything to make sure they're all good. Yatowski, he'll take the snap. He's going to drop back. He fakes the handoff, scrambles out to his right. He's going to look, fire to the end zone, and that is out of bounds. He was looking for number 0, that being Luke Floria, and that will set up 3rd down and 7.
And Luke Floria, he looked frustrated there. He thought he had it. You see him jumping a little bit in frustration as he went to the sideline. He looked like he was going on a curl route. He was going to run back, and he was in the end zone. He was going to run back, try to catch it on the corner, really near the pylon.
And we mentioned Aaron Rambo once again. It looks like some good coverage from number 4. The sophomore with 8 tackles and 2 pass deflections so far this season. Great coverage from him. For whom the bell tolls is playing, ladies and gentlemen, as it is now 3rd down and 7. Ball still on the 11. 2 receivers on each side. Yatowski, he'll take the snap. Avoids the sack. He's going to scramble out to his right once again. Fires at the end zone. It is once again thrown out of bounds. Yatowski avoids a big one as that will set up 4th down and 7. As it looks like the field goal unit might come out on the field. And they will, ladies and gentlemen.
And that was number 0, Darius McClendon, who ran up, tried to get that sack. It looked like he came over from the left side for a blitz, and he almost had Uladowski for the sack.
Number 47, that being Will Risco, I believe I am saying that name correctly. Trying on for another field goal attempt. It is his 2nd of the game. The first one early in the game, which tied it up, made it 3-3, and this will be his 2nd attempt. The kick is up. It is through the uprights, and it is good. So with that, the score is now changed from 13-3 to 13-6 as a little over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll step aside for this quick little intermission here on Falcon Radio.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Falcon women's tennis heads east for the Cleveland State Invitational on Friday, October 18th through Saturday, October 20th. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
Kicking off this back here at the Doy as they kicked it off, and they were received from Rakeem Smith. Rakeem Smith breaks a few tackles but will be stopped just short of the 30-yard line. If you're just now joining us, ladies and gentlemen, it is about a little over 2 minutes to go before the end of the half. The Falcons lead 13-6. I'm Carl Leonard alongside Artie Abrego. And Artie, we've seen a little bit of back and forth action today.
Absolutely. Kansas State with 2 field goals. Bowling Green lone touchdown for both teams today with a 50-yarder to Malcolm Johnson Jr. That pass was via Connor Bazelak today, and it started. I wouldn't call it back and forth yet. It's just been kind of slow, I would say, offensively wise. Both teams are taking their time on their offensive drives, and it's resulting in long drives for 50-plus yards or more, for that matter.
First down, the 26. Bazelak will hand it off to Terrion Stewart, and he is met by a brick wall. Looks like he probably got about a gain of 2 on the play, as there is currently a Kent State player down. And that looks to be
number 4 for Kent State.
And that is Rocco Nicole, the current junior outside linebacker who currently leads the Kent State goal and flashes and tackles with 21 to start the year, as he's currently down on the field right now. We'll take a quick break of this injury timeout. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
Back here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, coming off an injury timeout with Rocco Nicolas. He was helped off the sideline. 2nd down and 8 ball on the 28-yard line for the Falcons. Bazelak, he'll snap it, drops back, finds Harold Fannin Jr. for a screen. Fannin Jr. off the races across the sideline, and he'll be just knocked out of bounds. Got past the 50-yard line, and Harold Fannin Jr. once again adding to what has already been an impressive highlight reel for his 2024 season.
And after a quiet game against NIU, only 30 yards, he did score a touchdown, but he's had a great day today. A much better offense. And when he's going, it feels like this entire offense just clicks. He's now got 6 receptions, 111 yards.
And it looks like Kent State has possibly called another time. Oh, no, it's the 2-minute warning here in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. We'll step aside once again. Don't go anywhere for this short little quick intermission here on BG Falcon Radio.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Back here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, as we are currently at the 2-minute timeout portion of the game. The Falcons still lead 13-6. With just 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes remaining left in the first half. I am Carter Leonard alongside Artie Abrego. We hope you guys have enjoyed this broadcast as much as we have. And Artie, we're getting down to the end of the first half. A lot has happened since then, but what has been your big key takeaway so far?
My key takeaway is the offense just looks more consistent today than they have in past weeks, especially last week against NIU. They just look like they have a little more pep to their step today. They've gotten a lot more people involved. Terrence Stewart, he's had a really good game, 11 attempts, 80 yards, and he's got a 26-yarder long run. That's his longest run today. Connor Bazelak has looked amazing, I think. He's looked really consistent. 9 for 12, 179 yards, and a touchdown. And then they did and Harold Fannin Jr., receiving-wise, he's been like the only standout. I don't want to say standout, but he's been like the most involved person today. He's got 6 receptions, 111 yards, and he's got most of the receptions here for offense. So the offense, it's running through Harold Fannin Jr. again, where I feel like NIU, they did a really good job of shutting that down. They did a really good job of, they double-teamed him constantly that game. They didn't let him get involved as much as BG probably wanted him to. So they've done a good job getting him involved today. And when he plays well, this offense plays well.
Good job indeed. Still 1st down and 10, ball on the 47-yard line as the Falcons try to get past midfield to set up for another score before the end of the half here at the Doit. Rakeem Smith in motion on the right side. Bazelak, he'll take the snap, he'll fake the handoff, drops back, will look to number 6. I believe that is Jamal Johnson, and he'll be just shoved out of bounds. Looked like about a gain of 3 to 4 on that.
And Jamal Johnson, he's a running back, but he's primarily used as a receiving back for this team. He takes a lot of the screen passes, a lot of the short, quick dump-off passes when there's not a lot going here down the field.
2nd down and 6, a gain of 4, ball on the 49. Just about past midfield. Jamal Johnson in motion. He'll head off. Bazelak, he'll take the snap. He drops back. He'll find
Justin Peggy.
Justin Peggy, my apologies. Dumped it out for yet another similar play that went to Jamal Johnson. So a little bit of some screen passes here and there. That's definitely not bad unless you have blockers out front.
Yep.
But so far, a little bit shaky with that.
Yeah, Peggy's the primary kick returner / punt returner for this team. He gets about 4 yards there, so it's now 3rd down and 2.
3rd down and 2, ball on the 45. The Falcons are now past midfield. Would not be surprised if they were to give Peggy the ball. Jamal Johnson shifts back to the right side of Bazelak. Bazelak, he'll take the snap. He drops back, finds Peggy, and that will be enough for a Bowling Green first down. He just got it, so great job by Peggy. His first down reception of the day.
Peggy's, he just got the ball, immediately fell to the ground. Really smart, really good job to protect the football there.
Peggy checks out, and Jason Patterson, the number 2 back on the Falcons, checks in. Jamal Johnson still alongside on both sides of Bazelak. Bazelak, he'll drop back, he'll look to pass. Finds Jamal Johnson. Johnson with a bunch of space out in front, and that was one of the screen passes that really worked. Dumped it off to your running back and got a bunch of space out in front. Great job by Jamal Johnson.
And when you're running this 2-minute drill, you want guys, running backs out there who can catch the football, and that's exactly what Jamal Johnson is. He's provided a really good spark to this offense that maybe was missing their previous drive.
Ball on the 29 as clock tickets with little over a minute to go. The Falcons are gaining their momentum that they so need. Bazelak, he'll drop back once again. Looks to throw. Looks for number 18, and that might be incomplete. It looked like it was picked off just for a second there. As that.
Pass intended for number 18, Win Sharp.
And that will be number 18, Win Sharp. As the Kent State secondary, great job breaking that pass off. That will set up.
Broken up on play by number 13.
We are getting word that might be 3rd down, obviously.
That would be 3rd, yes. Win Sharp and number 87 for the Falcons, Jared Merck, have been coming in place of Malcolm Johnson Jr., who went out with injury earlier.
Stewart giving the handoff, and he is brought down. What a play by number 45. I believe that might have been, and it was Mason Woods for the Golden Flashes. What a job by him. Threw Terrion Stewart down with some authority, as that is now 4th down for the Falcons.
I mean, like, regardless of what side we're on, we got to appreciate a hit and play like that. That was amazing. The bench got hyped. That's a really good momentum over your team, and he got there immediately. And a lot of these Terrion Stewart runs lately haven't been going as much as well as they were. A lot of 1-yard games, a lot of losses. So Bowling Green, it looks like they sort of figured out how to contain Terrion Stewart in the late second quarter.
And with the multiple talent that you have in your backfield, whether it's Stewart, Patterson, or Johnson, you want to get those other guys besides Stewart working in. Not saying Stewart did necessarily anything wrong in that play. It's just Kent State saw it coming from a mile away.
Oh, absolutely. They had that play right from the beginning. You could see it immediately as soon as Terrence Stewart got the ball. That play was going nowhere.
And I want to make a big correction. It is now officially 3rd down and 12. I apologize. It is now the ball is now on the 32. Quick correction there. The Falcons offense still out on the field. Bazelak, he'll take the snap. He'll drop back. Has a decent amount of time to throw. Finds his receiver. Believe that may have been number 87.
Jared Merck.
Great reception from him, and that will set up a Bowling Green first down with just 45 seconds remaining on the clock. Believe that might have been Merck's first reception of the day, as there's now an injury timeout on the field for a Kent State Golden Flash, and we will stand by to see who that might be. It's difficult to really see far away when a player goes down like that.
Yeah, obviously the medical staff is checking on him, so that's obstructing our view a little bit. But they are making sure he is okay.
And we will step aside for a little bit. Please stay with us here on Falcon Radio as we take this injury timeout.
People join Walk MS to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. Walk MS brings communities together, creating teams with friends, loved ones, and coworkers to rally around those we care about and end MS forever. Together, we can change the world for people with MS. Register today at walkms.org.
First down and 10 on the 17-yard line for the Falcons as clock ticks away at the end of the first half. Offense still out on the field while the Kent State Golden Flashers are looking for something big to come up with to end the second half. Baselak, he'll take the snap. He drops back. He looks. He'll fire to the end zone for Rakeem Smith, and that is incomplete, and a flag is thrown on the play. The Falcons got exactly what they wanted, as they may have pass interference on Kent State.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there on that play. He was trying to go for the one-handed play, the one-handed catch, I should say, but we're still waiting for what the call is.
And it is pass interference
on number 10.
On number 10, and that is Donnie Steffens, the young junior who is currently a middle linebacker right now, has 2 tackles on the year, so that will gain the Falcons more of an advantage, and they will be right around the 2-yard line, as a matter of fact. So the ball will be placed on the 2, and that's just mistakes like that you cannot make, especially when you're coming down to the end of the half.
Yes, that was actually Kanan Williams. We should apologize for that. Who was on the defense?
Kanan Williams. Our apologies. And actually, it looks like Lucian Anderson, the third, number 3, is checked in. He'll get the ball. He'll run it in for a Bowling Green touchdown. So a little bit of trickery from the backup quarterback. Baselak checked out, and that will add 6 upon the board for the Falcons.
And that's exactly what you want. Lucian Anderson, he's more of a mobile quarterback, so you want to bring him into these positions during the game, especially when you're in the red zone, to get that easy touchdown. And that's the second Bowling Green touchdown of the day, and their first rushing touchdown today.
With just 23 seconds remaining in the half, a little bit of trickery that actually works in Bowling Green's favor. The first ever drive of the not the first ever drive, I'm sorry. The second drive of the game for the Falcons, where they had that little bit of trickery stuff going on, didn't really work out in their favor, but this time it did. And Zach Long out for the extra point. The kick is up and it's good, but there is a flag on the play. And we will see what the penalty is right here, and it looks like it will be a false start on Bowling Green.
Number 33, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
It was on number 33, Jordan Porter, who's on the defensive line, a senior for the Falcons.
So it'll be a retry of the kick, just 5 yards back. That's all it is. Once again, they will go for the extra point right here. Stacked up in the box. The kick is up, and it is good. Make this 20-6 as the Falcons continue on with their domination lead. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take this quick break before the kickoff to the end of the second half. Stay with us.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're good. Back here at the Doit, ladies and gentlemen, it is 20-6 here with just 23 seconds remaining left in the second half. Got a Lucian Anderson touchdown to put the Falcons up once more. I'm Carter Leonard alongside Artie Abrego, and Artie, the Falcons are definitely getting their money's worth here in this game.
Absolutely, 20 points already, so 13 more than they had last week. So much better offensive performance already for the Bowling Green Falcons.
The kick will once again sail through the end zone, and it's a touchback as the Kent State Golden Flashes, with just the little time that they have remaining, with just 23 seconds remaining on the clock, look to make something big before the end of the half.
Well, they do get the ball after halftime. They do get the ball. They did kick off, so they will get the ball at halftime. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just take a knee here and go to go to halftime.
Defense for Bowling Green out on the field, and we have to give the defense some of their flowers too, mainly Miles Bradley, number 23, the linebacker who had that big sack earlier in the game. He has done a really phenomenal job, as Kent State will take a knee as the clock winds down, and that will be the end of the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're keeping track, Bowling Green currently leads against Kent State 22-6 as the clock officially winds down for halftime. We'll take this quick intermission, ladies and gentlemen, and come back with the halftime report. Don't go anywhere here on BG Falcon Radio. Stay tuned.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers, how they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. But for many adults with disabilities who are elderly or have serious medical issues, dental care is simply unaffordable. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to just see one of the many patients in need. You can literally change a life. Visit willyouseeone.org to help change one life in your community today.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous, as in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
To prepare for possible telecom outages, create an emergency communications plan. First, check important cell phone contacts and note local non-emergency numbers. Store at least one contact as in case of emergency, and make sure that person knows if you have medical issues. Also, make sure everyone in your house knows how to text. Check backup batteries and fully charge all phones and rechargers, and sign up to receive mobile alerts. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of heart disease. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
BGSU Hockey travels to New York to take on Rochester Institute of Technology Saturday, October 19th at 7:07 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
The Western Scrub Jay. I was taking my science class on a virtual reality bird-watching expedition. All of a sudden, Charlie Kane shouts, "Arr! Arr!" He had spotted the elusive black swift, a bird rarely seen in the wild. For a brief moment, Charlie had not the eyes of a 9-year-old boy. He had the eyes of an eagle.
Teachers just have better work stories. Find out how creative teaching can be at teachdfw.org. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
If you suffer from COPD symptoms like shortness of breath and fatigue, where do you turn? There are medications and oxygen, but do you know about pulmonary rehab? 3 out of 5 COPD patients have never heard of it. Pulmonary rehab is an exercise, education, and support program that gives you tools to manage your condition, and Medicare typically pays for it. So whether it's grocery shopping on your own or just walking across the room, pulmonary rehab can help you. Visit livebetter.org to find out about your options for pulmonary rehab today.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Testing for radon is easy. Just call 866-730-GREEN.
Make it green, green, green.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Falcon Men's Tennis heads to the Cleveland State Invitational on Monday, October 21st through Tuesday, October 22nd. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
Welcome back to the Doyle L. Perry Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently halftime right now. Falcons still lead 20-6. Artie, first state's first about this halftime. The Falcons have been in full swing so far. Got a little bit of a shaky start, but so far they have done a really solid job as we conclude the first quarter and all the way through the second.
Absolutely. They've been in the driver's seat all day long, it feels like today. There's not a lot of there's been a lot of separation with these two teams. It's a 14-point deficit right now, and the offense for Bowling Green has performed so well today, especially, as I've mentioned, as you compare it to last week against NIU. They performed so very well. It feels like, Kyle ever talked about those confidence issues. It feels like they're way confident in the instance today. You got Connor Bazelak, 14 for 18, 218 yards, 1 touchdown. Terrion Stewart, 80 yards on 12 attempts. Been a little bit shut down in like the later half of the second quarter, but overall a really good performance by him today. Lucian Anderson came in for a 2-yard touchdown run. So there's 2 touchdowns already and then 2 field goals to get this 20-point lead up.
But now turning it over to Kent State, it has been nothing but great so far as they've only managed 2 field goals on the board so far. We have to really ask ourselves the question, what are they going to have to do better if they want to get themselves back in this game, because they will be receiving to start out at the second half.
Their run game is so strong, especially just this game, but it's been from one guy, Kai Thomas. He's got 115 yards on the day. So it's been mostly a one-man show. And you got Curtis Douglas, who got involved a little bit towards the end. He had 2 really good runs, but it's been mostly a one-man offensive show. Passing-wise, has not been that great. They've only had 4 completions. Their biggest completion was for 18 yards. 40 yards for Ulodowski on the day. Utowowski on the day, and he's only got he's got 4 out of 13, so they have to be able to pass the ball better if you're Kent State. Kent State, you got to get those quick passes going. You get those screen passes going. Ulodowski, he hasn't shown us that he has the biggest arm yet, because mostly Kent State offense is focused on short passes, focused on runs. So I'm not saying they have to go out and you have to immediately throw a 50-yard Hail Mary. Just you got to get some momentum going on the passing side to build up this guy's confidence.
You mentioned the running game earlier, and I think that's been a big key component as well. Mainly Terrion Stewart, Jason Patterson, Jamal Johnson, the whole Bowling Green backfield have all contributed very, very well today. But when Terrion Stewart started to get momentum early in the game, Kent State really caught on, and they've really shut the door on number 4 so far. So what adjustments do you think Leffler and the offensive run game is going to have to make if they want to get Terrion Stewart more and more involved in the second half?
I think they're going through a lot of inside zone runs, a lot of up the middle type stuff. I would try maybe some outside runs, maybe try to pitch it to him, maybe a little, try to get that outside working, try to run him up the sideline perhaps. Just maybe not like, it feels like they're going like straight towards the offensive line, which is fine. I think it works a lot, and he has that patience to find ways through blockers and ways through defenders, but it's just not working right now. So I think you just got to mix up the game plan a little bit. Maybe go away from Terrion Stewart attacks for a little bit. Focus on that. I really like what they did with Jamal Johnson during that 2-minute drill. They got him really well involved in that receiving area. They were a lot of quick passes to him. I would get Jamal Johnson more involved in the game because it felt like they had a really good momentum when they had him out on the field.
You definitely don't want to give the defense a very good idea of what you're doing, that's for sure. But also looking at the Bowling Green's defense, they've done a really solid job today too. Mainly some of the key standouts that I've had so far has been number 23, linebacker Miles Bradley. Had a big sack earlier in the game that really set up Bowling Green's momentum and letting them set sail. We also have Jordan Oladokin, who we all thought might not even play this game, was a little bit questionable, and also Joseph Sipp Jr., who currently leads the team in not just in tackles, but just has done a really solid job in general. So the defense, got to give them their flowers as well.
Yeah, 18 sacks now in the season for the Falcons, so that's one of the most in the country. They had 17 head-ins today, and when it comes to just getting after the quarterback, they've done fantastic. Anthony Hawkins, 2 QB hits already on the day, so that leads the team. Tracy Revis, 1 QB hit. Charles, 1 QB hit on the day. Charles Rosser, 1 QB hit. He's still looking for that sack. He's got 4.5 on the season, so he's one of the top people in the country when it comes to individual sacks. He's only 0.5 behind the guy who has most in the country. And then to round out, Ali Saeed, 1 QB hit on the day. So already, that's a lot. That's an understatement. That's a lot. But 5 QB hits on him. And there's been so much pressure on the Kent State quarterback and on the Kent State quarterback. But they just have to do a better job of defending the run, because that's where this offense really shines with Kent State.
Ulatowski has had some bright spots and some not so great moments, so that's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on for the Kent State offense here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting down to the end of halftime here, and I am going to switch over play-by-play calls to Artie Abrego. He will take over for the second half, and this has been the little halftime report, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The second half is about to get underway. Stay tuned here on BG Falcon Radio.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that a disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
Today, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer. Visit LLS.org and save a child's life.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career that I could be proud of.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Falcon Women's Soccer battles Eastern Michigan at Cochran Stadium on Thursday, October 24th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and a recap for the match available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Falcon Radio and welcome back to Dwight L. Perry Stadium. My name is Artie Brego. I'm joined by my broadcast partner Carter Leonard. And Carter, it's about to get down for some second half action here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium.
It's going to be very interesting to see what Kent State does as they will receive the start the second half. But Bowling Green the momentum has just all been in their favor. And you talked about it already in the halftime segment of the broadcast that they have been in the driver's seat all day long, and it looks like they don't plan on letting their foot off the gas anytime soon.
Zach Long will kick it off here for the Falcons. Pretty good special teams day for Zach Long. He's hit 2 field goals, a 32-yarder, and then another field goal later on in the second quarter. Deshaun Hartman will receive. Long getting ready to kick off.
Had a very interesting halftime show as well.
Yeah, pretty good Thriller celebration if you're a Michael Jackson fan. Kent State will start on the right side of the field. They will be attacking the left end zone, which would be BG's. Ball will be taken out, I should say, as he's going up the sideline at the and he's taken down at the 13-yard line by the Falcons.
What a big hit, too. I mean, you want to talk. Artie, if you ask me, special teams has always been one of my favorite things about football because it just leads to big hits all the time. And obviously, you don't want to see anybody get hurt from those, but like when you see those big hits, you just can't help but get excited.
I was a Chicago Bears fan, so I know all about the kickoff returns. Devin Hester, the greatest of all time. And Kent State offense coming back out on the field. And Carter, if you're the Kent State offensive coordinator or coaching staff, what are you doing here? What kind of plays are you going to run?
I think it's just a mix of everything. You know, it really seems like they haven't really gotten any advantage, you know, in both the run game, besides Kai Thomas, you know, but the passing game just has to be better for Kent State.
Udowski, he hands it off. It's a play action. He takes the ball. He's got it in. He's taken down for a loss. Udowski was taken down. He was taken by A.V. McGarry by the Falcons.
And what a good job by McGarry just pursuing that the whole entire time. He read that absolutely well, and that's what led to the sack.
Immediately wrapped up when Uladowski tried to keep it for that read option play. Right now they're setting up for another play. No running back in the backfield. Pretty rare today for the Kent State offense.
Like I said, it looks like they're trying to do a mix of everything right now, so we'll see what kind of direction this will take. So far with that sack, not great.
Curtis Douglas, I spoke too soon. He's going to check into the game. He's lined up on the left side of Uladowski. They're on 2nd down and 12 on the 11-yard line. Shotgun formation. Uladowski, he tells Douglas in motion. Going to line up as a wide receiver. So 2 wide receivers on both sides of Uladowski. He takes snap. Brock Horn comes right up the middle trying to wrap him up, and Uladowski throws it to the left sideline. He was looking for Luke Floria, and it's not going to be completed. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. It looked like he just threw it out of bounds, and Floria couldn't get the feet down.
Yeah, and we kind of saw a sort of similar play earlier in the game where a receiver from our vantage point right around the 30-yard line looked like he was out of bounds, but it actually got one toe in. But this time, that was definitely not the case.
Yeah, Brock Horn just ran right up the middle there, disrupting that play. And 2 wide receivers on Uladowski's left and 2 on his right, as it's going to be no running back in the backfield. He takes a snap. He's looking, throws to the left sideline. Oladokin all over that, nowhere to go, wraps up the wide receiver, and it's going to be 4th down.
What a great job from Oladokin. Read that absolutely well, and that's just what the Falcons defense has been doing so far. This game is reading everything so well and not letting Kent State get by them whatsoever.
There's going to be no gain on that play for the Golden Flashes. He threw it to Luke Faria, who was just thrown out of bounds by Oladokin.
And it looks like Peggy will be back to receive, as you don't want to put him back there because it'll lead to a lot of problems.
Pass was going to be to Christian McCray for no gain, actually. Peggy's bobbles the kickoff punt return a little. He's looking around. He breaks the tackle. Still looking. He finds a hole. He's going. He's still going. He's got grass, and he's taken down at the 40-yard line.
What did I just say, Artie? Peggy has done a really good job in kick returns, punt returns, just an overall good job. And you got to really ask yourself the question, what if he broke off those last few tackles? We could possibly be talking about him heading to the house right then and there.
Incredible patience shown by Peggy. He's just so smart. It looked like he almost stopped for a second and then analyzed what was going on. And he found a hole. This warps right into it and to get a good gain. It looked like he was going nowhere after he bobbled that punt return. Bazelak on the field. He's lined up. He hands the ball off to Terrion Stewart, who goes up the middle for a short gain. Ran into the offensive line and several Kent State defenders there.
And like we talked about in the halftime break, we talked about, what BG's offense can really do better. I think it's just a little bit of it's just a mix of things, you know what I mean? Because, when they've given the ball to Terrion so far, it was good to start out, but, Kent State quickly caught on.
Shotgun formation. Terrion Stewart behind Bazelak. Bazelak hands off to Stewart, and he's got a little bit of a short gain. It almost looked like it was going nowhere with two Kent State defenders right behind him, but he gets another short gain. Third down now. Waiting to see. Looks like it's going to be third down and 4, I should say. Jamal Johnson checks into the game along with Wynn Sharp for the Falcons. Jamal Johnson's going to line up with receiver alongside Sharp on the right sideline on the Golden Flash sideline. Rakeem Smith, Harold Fanning Jr. in motion, moves to the right side. Takes a pass, throws to Rakeem Smith for a screen, and he's taken down. No, looks like a short 1-yard gain on that screen pass to Rakeem Smith.
Almost looked like a body slam for the defender who tackled Rakeem Smith. Obviously, not saying what he did was illegal right there, but just, you got to make those tackles, and he definitely did right there.
4th down and 4, and the offense is going to remain out on the field. Jason Patterson coming into the game. Jamal Johnson and Wynn Sharp are going to line up as receivers. Harold Fanning Jr. and out on the field. Johnson in motion, goes to the right side. Bazelak, back to pass. He takes the snap. He's looking for something. He's taken down for the sack. It looks like, and recorded with the sack is going to be Cameron Olds on the sack for his 4th sack of the season. He just got a hold of Bazelak's ankle there for a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with going for it on 4th down right there. Obviously, it's a little bit of ways away for a field goal attempt, but you have to try to take your 3 points right there. I don't know exactly what the whole accomplishment of what the accomplishment that they were trying to get there was, but clearly it did not work out in their favor.
As the side switch sides of the ball, we're going to take a short break here on Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission to have more people sign up as organ, eye, and tissue donors. What drives her? Roxanne received a heart transplant made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day to devote myself to signing up the most people in the United States. That's my goal.
Now she's a powerful force for good. What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Falcon women's tennis heads east for the Cleveland State Invitational on Friday, October 18th through Saturday, October 20th. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
Welcome back to Dwight L. Perry Stadium. My name is Artie Brago, joined by my broadcast partner, Carter Leonard. We just saw a turnover on downs. Connor Bazelak sacked for a loss of 9 yards by Cameron Olds. It will be a turnover on downs with 11:32 remaining in the half, in the third quarter, I should say. A bit of a performance going on by the BGSU cheer team. As for this family weekend, we have a lot of families here today supporting their students. A lot of alumni supporting their students who have become Falcons, I should say. As the offense, looks like the huddles are dying down and the offenses and defenses will come back out onto the field.
Yeah, and Artie, it's definitely cool to see, the Falcon, I would say, not necessarily call it the bloodline, but like the Falcon gene being passed down from generation to generation and for many years to come.
Absolutely. Falcon faithful run strong here in Bowling Green, Ohio. As right now the Kent State offense will retake the field. Kai Thomas in the backfield in shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on the left towards the Kent State sideline. Dusky getting ready to take the snap. He looks over to the sideline, getting his final instruction from coach. Looks like they're calling something out. Does shotgun formation. Looks like 4 are going to rush for Bowling Green. Hands it off to Kai Thomas. He's breaking out to the left side, and he's wrapped up for about a gain of 2 yards.
And it looked like Dontrez Brown, came up with that tackle. So the defensive line for the Falcons getting their work cut out for them.
Absolutely, and the run game still the attack plan for the Golden Flashes offense, as new players are going to come out for the Flashes now. Shotgun formation again. Ty Thomas still on the field. It is 2nd down and 10, so it was a gain of no yards. Hand off to Thomas up the middle. It wrapped up around several Bowling Green defenders after a short gain.
Thomas, the ball carrier once again for Kent.
Falcons doing once again a great job of creating absolutely zero separation for Kai Thomas to break off for one of those big runs, because even though Kent has not scored a touchdown yet, you do not want to get Thomas running because it will create big problems.
That's going to be a gain of 5 yards for Thomas. 3rd down and 5. The bell just tolled in the Dwight L. Perry Stadium as getting ready to take the snap. Ulatowski takes the snap. He's going to up the middle. QB run. He's going. He's taken down at the 50-yard line. Try to break it out to the right side. It'll be interesting where they spot this.
Looked like he was just short, but it's going to be really close.
It's going to be a 4th down and 1, and the offense is staying out on the field. The big tight end for the Kent State, Charlie Skihan, is going to check into the game. So I almost wonder if they're going to do they're going to sneak here with their mobile quarterback. But still waiting to see what will be called.
And the fans are getting on their feet right now. Nobody is sitting down because they know how big of a deal this is.
Deshaun Martin on the field, checked in for the Flashes. Lotowski looking over at the sideline, looking for the call. And there's going to be a whistles here. Looks like someone may have called a timeout. We'll wait to see.
Timeout, Kent State.
It is going to be a timeout for Kent State, their first of the game. And we're going to take it with them. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
What is hope? Hope to me was just that he would get to come home. I had no idea how hard it would be once he got back.
I wish she'd stop drinking so much. She thinks it's helping, but it's not.
I act like I don't care if he comes to my games, but I hope he does.
I hoped he'd get help. He told me to stop asking. I didn't. Then one day he asked for a ride.
Hope is knowing there are other families just like yours, that the veterans they love got help and recovered. Go to maketheconnection.net and turn hope into action.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to Falcon Radio, and welcome back to some Bowling Green football, some action on this Saturday afternoon, or should we say evening? I don't know. What would you define 5:34 as? Is it still evening or is it still the afternoon?
I have no clue. It's whatever the time that fits best for us, Artie. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Just great day for college football as always, as we have said before.
I'm sure someone knows the answer, and they're probably very mad at me for messing that up, but who knows? It is now 4th and 1. Bowling Green up 20-6. And right now, the offense is going to remain on the field. I see Kai Thomas and Luke Faria, Ulatowski on the field right now. They have Charlie Skihan on the field as well, the big blocking tight end. And it's going to be a big test for the Kent State offensive line. Can they get this 1 yard against such a ferocious passing and rushing defense of Bowling Green?
And the previous play before was a running play from quarterback Tommy Yotowski, who just looked like his knee probably dropped on the green before he got down to the first down marker. So interesting to see what they do here on 4th and 1.
And it's going to be a wildcat formation. Yotowski is going to line up as a wide receiver. In motion, handoff, up the middle, and it looks like he got it, and he's swarmed by a massive amount of Falcons orange. It looks like he did get that 1 yard. I believe it was Deshaun Martin who took the handoff up the middle.
See, those right there are the ideal moments that you want to do. Like, those are the ideal moments for, like, trick plays like that, because, you know, what we saw earlier in the game from Bowling Green, it wasn't the right time to do that, but that time right there, Kent State, that was a good example of when to do it.
They did get that yard. They are now on the Falcons 46, attacking that left side of the field. Yotowski back in the quarterback formation, back in shotgun formation. He's going to give some information to the offensive line. Lines back up at around the 51. Handoff to Kai Thomas on the right side. He's going up the seam. He's taken down, swarmed by a massive amount of Falcon players, but I believe
Kai Thomas, the ball carrier for the Flashes.
I believe that was number 8, Trent Sims for the Falcons, who got there first. So the tackle will be credited to him as he got a gain of 2 yards, Kai Thomas. And the Falcons doing a much better job of containing him as they had in the previous half.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, you have to contain, and that's one of the big important parts about it on the defensive side, because if you don't contain, then the plan that you had when you went out is just completely out the window. And Coach Scott Leffler has talked a lot about that this week.
Shotgun formation again for the Golden Flashes. It's going to be it's going to be a play action. Yotowski looking downfield. He's got some Falcons that found him. He runs to the right side, tries to attack the right seam as a Golden Flashes player was running across the line. He was looking for Luke Floria, and once again, it's going to be incomplete.
And there is a flag on the play as well, so it'll be interesting to see what that is, as there is a Kent State player down as well.
We will wait to hear. It looks like an offensive lineman for the Golden Flashes is down on the field.
Look like number 63, perhaps.
It looks like that would be Tony Georges, if it is number 63. It was an illegal man downfield, and there's going to be injury timeout, so we're going to step aside for a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Did you ever ride your bike with a clothespin and a baseball card? Or use a typewriter for a school paper? Then here's a timely alert. Americans born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, which often has no symptoms, but is a leading cause of liver cancer. The good news? Treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
Welcome back to Falcon Radio. Luckily, I believe that was number 66, Elijah Williams, who was able to get up on his own power. He had a little bit of a jog going to him, too, so more power to him. I hope he is okay, as he was able to get off the field on his own power.
Yeah, no matter what side of the ball that you root for, it's never good to see a player go down like that.
It absolutely never is, Carter. And it is now 3rd down and 9. The bell is tolling in Dwight L. Perry Stadium, as Yotowski going to line up with no running back. 2 wide receivers to his left, 2 to his right near the Bowling Green sideline. Yotowski still looking over mission. In motion now is Curtis Douglas. Curtis Douglas going to line up behind him. Yotowski takes his time. He's got multiple Falcons around him, and he's taken down for the sack. Just a flock of Falcons there to get the sack and force the 4th down.
Those big 3rd down conversions always come down in handy if you do everything that you're supposed to, complete every assignment, and the defense right there just came up with the big play. And just like that, they are going to punt it away.
Really good job there by the Falcons defense to get in to disrupt that play. As it's going to be another punt for Kent State.
For the Flashes,
Peggy back to receive now.
He had a really good run, punt return earlier. He's not going to take that one. Waves his arms. No, no, no. Ball will bounce around some more. It's going to bounce inside the 10. It's going to keep rolling And it looks like it's going to be marked at the 6-yard line. A really good couple of lucky bounces there for the Golden Flashes.
Another point I wanted to bring up about special teams is one particular incident that happened at Akron. I believe when the Falcons were at Akron Stadium, which I was there was one moment where a ball was rolling towards a the receiving team, and the person who was supposed to catch it back there just went on it. And I'm like, why would you do that? If you touch that, that's a live ball. Anyone can jump on it. So glad to see that communication on special teams is at an all-time high, because you have to have that.
Well, we're going to take a short break here as both teams will get back on the field shortly. Listen to Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere.
NHL star Matt Martin for American Humane.
I've had my fair share of bruises and injuries, but for many who put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane has created a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving animals. For help, please go to AmericanHumane.org.
All over America, people are taking the National Radon Test. Have you? Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false? The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false? Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. True.
I'm gonna dial the number and call.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Welcome back to Dwight L. Perry Stadium. The current score, 20-6, and Bowling Green will be starting from their own 6-yard line on the left half of the field. I see Connor Bazak getting warmed up for this drive. And they started a drive earlier, Carter, from the 2-yard line that ended up all the way for a field goal in that first quarter.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the big drives of the game that we really kept track of. And that's just making the most out of a lot of situations, because, like, you know, no offense, no matter what it is, no matter if it's high school, college, or NFL, being back at your own 2-yard line is a situation that you want to get out of as soon as possible, and Bowling Green did a great job of doing so.
Absolutely. You never want to be backed up against the wall like that, especially in a type of rivalry matchup like this. Bowling Green looking for their first victory against Kent State in Dwight L. Perry Stadium since 2016. The last time these teams played in Dwight L. Perry Stadium, it was a 42-7 win for the Falcons. Looking to repeat that success today.
And last year with the big blowout, 49-19, it's looking like it's going to be in the same sort of rhythm as last year.
Bazak lined up on his own 6. He's got Terrion Stewart out there with him. 2 wide receivers on his left. Gonna take the snap. Hand off to Terrion Stewart for just a couple of yards.
That play right there, I am a little bit confused by. Not the play calling itself, but because Terrion Stewart looked like he had a little bit of a hole right there and just decided to spin back into traffic, and it's just like, I don't know if that was the right call right there.
Always tough to tell what to do when you're in that sort of position. I would say, as right now receivers out there for the Falcons are Wynn Sharp, Rakeem Smith on the left, Terrion Stewart once again out there lined besides Bazak in shotgun formation. Bazak takes a snap, handoff to Stewart. Stewart looking around for a hole. He runs up right for looks like a gain of 1. Not a lot there for the Falcons once again.
If the Golden Flashes have really gained control over one man, that would be Terrion Stewart. Terrion Stewart had a monumental start to the game, but it has quickly diminished as time has gone on.
16 carries today for Terrion Stewart. Not a lot in these past couple of minutes for a big gain, as Jason Patterson is going to check in for Stewart on the field now. Fannin Jr., Javon Williams, Rakeem Smith, I should say. And going to be a whistle here. False start on the offense. Number 18, Wynn Sharp, the freshman, who's been coming in lately for the injured Malcolm Johnson Jr., and he's going to check off for running back Jamal Johnson, the receiving running back threat. He's going to check back out on the field.
And that's just one of those freshman moments where you're so new to everything. You're really, really excited, but you just can't make those mistakes right there. But Wynn Sharp, he'll shake it off. He'll move on.
Fanning Jr. in motion on the right side. Bazak takes the snap. Looking downfield, And he completes it to Fanning Jr., who's going up fourth for a gain of a couple. Quick pass to number 0. And it's going to give me enough for the first down.
Harold Fannin Jr. just makes us talk about him a lot more and more as each game passes on. Just great job. Just looked like a little bit of a hitch route right there. And that's just one of those simple routes that's going to gain you a lot more than you initially thought.
Stewart will check back out onto the field. Patterson beside him. So 2 running backs in the backfields right now for Bowling Green, as there's going to be a timeout, and it looks like it's going to be an injury timeout. Kent State player is down on the field.
Looks like one of their defensive linemen right there.
So we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be right back in just a little bit.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, and, of course, companionship. Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance so common with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Luckily, that player was able to walk off on his own power after being down on the field for just a little while. Not too long, I would say. As now the Falcons, after a 13-yard completion to Harold Fanning Jr., are now in a good place outside of their backfield. The ball is on their 18-yard line, attacking the right side of the field, driving towards the Kent State end zone.
Falcons try to really put this away as we speak. I mean, it is a 20-6 game right now, but Falcons are just trying to add more fuel to the fire.
2 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right. That's Jaden Merck on the right, and Harold Fanning Jr. closer to Bazelak, and then Rakeem Smith on the far right, left side. 2 running back look for the Falcons right now. Bazelak has Stewart and Patterson on his right and left sides. And there's going to be a clock reset, I believe. The officials are asking them to reset the play clock. Pretty nice way of asking it, in my opinion. He said, "Thank you very much."
It's always the common courtesy that goes a long way, Artie.
Absolutely.
It is definitely always like that. Be nice, people.
Always be polite.
Always be polite.
Bazelak takes a snap, hand off to Stewart. Stewart going up the right side, tries to find a hole up the middle, and he's taken down.
Looked like he was kind of going to try to hop over that defender that was on his knees, or at his feet, I should say. Excuse me. But, yeah, just a solid rush from Terrion Stewart as he jogs off the field along with Patterson.
Jaden Merck is going to check back into the game.
Looks
Jamal
like
Johnson on the far right side.
Looks like Peggy is in the game right now.
Peggy's is in the running back position. Jamal Johnson in motion. Basic snap fake. Hand off to Peggy's, and he completes the pass to Fanning Jr. for another quick gain.
It's always those quick passes that you have to do, and you have to really get those out too, because otherwise you're going to meet something that's just not going to be fun, and that's a possible sack. So great job by Bazelak being aware of the situation around him.
That 6-yard completion to Fanning Jr. is going to set the Falcons up pretty with another first down, and as you heard the Falcon screech throughout the stadium, that signifies that. Jamal Johnson in the backfield now, along with Terrion Stewart. Jaden Merck on the far left side. Rakeem Smith in motion, runs across the field, fakes the handoff. Bazelak under pressure, goes up the middle, and he just slides down. He had nowhere to go with that. A lot of pressure, not a lot of places to go.
It looked like it could have been a lot worse for Bazelak right there, as you had those 2 defenders coming off the edge, and it looked like the pocket was obviously quickly collapsing, but that could have been a lot worse for number 7.
Tight end Blaine Cleaver is going to check in the game for the Falcons. Johnson Stewart in the backfield, right behind Connor Bazelak. Bazelak hands off to Stewart. Stewart, he's found a hole. He's going up the middle. Gets a his biggest run in a couple of minutes for Terrion Stewart.
And that's the Stewart that we saw at the beginning of the game, where he broke off for those big runs, fighting those gaps and making work with what he had in front of him. So great job from Stewart.
It's now a 3rd down and run, 1 after Carry-on Stewart. And we're looking to see if they do run this football. As right now, Jared Merck on the field on the left side. Bazelak in shotgun formation. Bazelak takes a snap, hands off to Stewart, up the middle, and it looked like Stewart fights his way for a first down.
If he didn't get it before, he definitely got it now. So Terrion Stewart is going to fight to the bitter end each and every play. Such a hard back to bring down.
Absolutely. It is impossible to keep him on the ground. It takes a lot of pressure, and it's taken a lot of Kent State defenders today to bring him to the ground. He's all muscle, that guy, and right now he's going to check out of the game for Jamal Johnson. Jared Merck on the left side. 3 wide receivers on the right. Peggy's is one of them, along with Rakeem Smith. And there's going to be a flag thrown on the field before the play even starts.
Flag on the play.
You're wondering to see what it is.
Charge timeout. Bowling Green.
It'll be a timeout on Bowling Green. It'll be the first timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it with you here.
Looked like number 87, I believe that might have been. Just trying to get identification here.
Jaden Merck.
Jaden Merck. He was confused on the right side of the field. He was kind of looking like over to the sideline, just like, what's going on here? Like, what's the adjustment that we're making here? So a little bit of confusion for the Bowling Green offense.
It looks like this timeout was just to remind him, or remind the team of what the play call is going to be. There's only 1 minute, 58 seconds left remaining in the third quarter. Falcons are checking back on the field. Fanning Jr., Jamal Johnson, Rakeem Smith. Rakeem Smith is going to line up on the far left side. Peggy's on the right, along with, I believe that is Jaden Merck back on the field. Jamal Johnson in the backfield, along with Bazelak, shotgun formation. In motion is Peggy's. Bazelak fakes the handoff to Peggy's, throws downfield, and he's got Jamal Johnson for the completion. Threw it towards the ground, but Johnson managed to stop and make that catch.
Great job by Johnson with the concentration, because those passes, although it got some air underneath it, when it gets very, very low like that, you have to do everything in your power to make sure that ball does not hit the ground. So great job by Jamal Johnson. It was just great concentration overall.
And that's another first down for these Falcons, as Patterson now in the backfield. Bazelak, shotgun formation. Bazelak makes the handoff to Patterson. Patterson up the middle with a spin move, but he falls to the ground. Try to get away from those Kent State defenders, but he gets a short gain there. Jason Patterson. Ball on the 42-yard line now, the Kent State's 42-yard line.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see from the Bowling Green offense, is when you not only give Stewart a lot of carries, but also mixing in a guy like Jason Patterson, who's also done a really good job handling the rock so far.
Loaded backfield with Fannin Jr., Jason Patterson. It's going to be another handoff to Patterson, but it's a fake. The Fannin Jr. play action pass to Fannin Jr. for a big gain.
I believe that tackle was made by number 23. Looks like it may have been perhaps
Kent State number 23.
Kent State number 23.
It was Naheem Muhammad.
Naheem Muhammad.
Make the tackle. A big tackle by Naheem Muhammad. It's not easy to bring down a guy like Harold Fanning Jr.
No, and Reese Patricus has said it before, built like a tight end, runs like a receiver, creates a lot of mismatches.
And Lucien Anderson is going to check in the game for the Falcons. He's going to hand it off to Patterson up the middle. Patterson still going, breaks the tackle, and he gets taken down at the 19, 18-yard line.
And you and I saw it already. We saw a lot of blitzing formation from the Golden Flashes right there, mainly off to the left side of the field where the Falcons were lining up, and we thought Patterson was not going to get very much out of it, but he got a lot out of a little.
And that will be the end of the third quarter here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium. 15 minutes left to go. BG up 20-6. We'll be right back here for your last quarter of action in just a little bit.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Titans go!
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come!
Road trip! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. We're finally on the big screen.
Have a seat, my dude. For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Falcon Women's Soccer battles Eastern Michigan at Cochran Stadium on Thursday, October 24th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and a recap for the match available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to your final quarter of afternoon action here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium. My name is Audrey Brago, joined by my broadcast partner Carter Leonard, and it is 20-6. BGSU up by 14 as we enter into this fourth quarter. And Carter, BG has still been in the driver's seat. No touchdowns, no points scored in this third quarter after 2 straight quarters of scoring. So what are you expecting out of this quarter?
Just to close it out. You have this big lead. I would hope that you would close it out because, you know, you can create all the points you want. You can make a lot of moves. You can make a lot of things happen. But at the end of the day, you have to seal the deal, and that's what's going to get the W on the board. So for the Falcons' case, they have to seal the deal.
BGSU a 2nd and 4 on the 19th-yard line. Sides will switch halves of which end zones they are attacking. Bowling Green now attacking the left side. Kent State will attack the right. As right now, we're getting ready for some more action here. Number 81 for the Falcons, tight end Elijah Boyd will check into the game. He's going to line up alongside Harold Fanning Jr. Lucian Anderson still in the game for the Falcons, lining up alongside Terrian Stewart with Jamal Johnson on his right. Off to the far side is Wynn Sharp. Anderson getting ready for the snap. Shotgun formation, takes the snap, hands off to Stewart. Stewart attacking the left side, going down the sideline, still going, and he's taken out alongside after a short gain.
And another goal and flash player, slow to get up. Definitely had the wind knocked out of him. Trying to see who that is. That might be number 19.
Luckily, he was able to get off Jalen Dotson on his own power, thankfully. He is still in the game. And there's going to be a 5-yard penalty added here. It looks like it's going to be on the Falcons as they're going to be moving back.
And Bazelak has just checked back in for the viewers at home.
And number 10, Levi Gazarek is going to come into the game for the Falcons. Number 81, Elijah Boyd will check off the field. More substitutions coming here for the Falcons. Terrence Stewart will check off for number 28, Jason Patterson. Fanning Jr. on the field alongside Jamal Johnson on Bazelak's left, along with number 18, Wynn Sharp. Bazelak fakes the handoff, throws the pass on the side to Jamal Johnson, who gets a big gain before getting shoved out into the Golden Flashes sideline.
Number 6, Jamal Johnson.
Jamal Johnson gets a good short little gain.
And we've seen a lot of that this game. We've seen a lot of those dump-off passes to see if those backs can really get, a lot of space out in front with the blockers that they have. And Jamal Johnson has been a big benefactor in that whole play style.
4 receptions for 37 yards for Johnson. As right now, shotgun formation, 3-yard receivers on his right, 1 on his left. Bazelak, shotgun formation with Patterson in the backfield. Looks like they're showing blitz here. As Bazelak takes the snap, he's under pressure and he's sacked. Sacked at the 22-yard line, and he's taken down.
having that penalty and sack and back-to-back is something that the Falcons did not want to see. Not saying it's all doom and gloom, but that's just something that you cannot – those are just mistakes that you cannot create right then and there.
Field goal unit will come on for the Falcons. Zach Long, 2 for 2 on the day. Hopefully the announcer's Kirk doesn't strike here as I say that. Looking for his 3rd of the day.
I believe this might be his longest field goal attempt of the day.
Announcer just said 48-yard field goal. We'll see if he makes it. The kick is up. And it's no good, unfortunately. It looks like it was just a bit outside.
Artie, I could definitely say that it looked a little bit good from our angle, but it's hard to really tell from different perspectives.
It looked like it hooked towards the end, towards the right. There's not a lot of wind out here today, but that is a very tough kick to make. And Kent State is going to get the ball with a turnover on downs. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio in just a little bit. And Carter, we're going to keep it here actually. So as you've seen this game, what have been the main takeaways so far on both sides of the ball?
Well, if we're going to start out with Bowling Green, I think it's just airing out the passes and just getting the run game really going. They have done a really solid job of doing so. And, you know, like we mentioned in the pregame, Coach Leffler, the previous week against Northern Illinois, he talked a lot about how since the confidence was so low, the game plan was thrown out the window. It looked like the game plan right here has been in full swing, and so far they are getting from point A to point B each and every time. It's not been perfect, but they are doing a lot better compared to last week.
Absolutely. Falcons today have 21 first downs. They've had 31 rush attempts for 111 yards. 3.6 averaging on that rush. They've had 20 receptions compared to Bowling Green, compared to Kent State's just 5. 20 receptions total. They're averaging they have 277 yards receiving compared to Kent State's 42, averaging 13.9 on those receptions. 227 pass yards today for Connor Bazelak. He's been sacked twice today, though, but he has a touchdown pass.
It was only a matter of time before a sack was inevitably going to happen. I mean, not to say that the offensive line couldn't be perfect. I mean, they could, but there's no such thing as perfect in any sort of sport. So, but the offensive line just has to keep doing a better job of, like, protecting Bazelak, because there's been times this year where Bazelak has gotten a little bit banged up. So you definitely want to protect your quarterback at all costs.
Absolutely. You have a 14-point lead with exactly 13 and 13 left on the clock. It looks like Bowling Green just obviously they've turned the ball over down, so they just got to make sure they got to contain this attack. And Kent State, with such a run-focused offense, they're going to have to switch it towards more geared towards the pass. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do, especially when they've struggled so much. The quarterback, Tommy Noski, he's having his worst day of his career so far, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely not been the day that they have hoped for, but you have to make a lot out of the little and just try to fight with pride to the bitter end.
Absolutely, as they're looking to get that win. They're 0-6 on the season, looking to not go 0-7. Ludowski going to come back out on the field. 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right towards the BG sideline. Curtis Douglas in the backfield alongside him.
Yeah, if the Falcons do end up winning this game, they will be 0-3 in conference as well for Kent State.
Got to get that momentum back as Ludowski gets ready. He's going to go up to the offensive line, give him the final instructions.
Still trying to get all the adjustments ready.
Whistle is blown. Looks like he's ready now. Ludowski looks over to the sideline one more time. Ludowski takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking downfield. He's got some pressure coming from the Bowling Green defense. He throws downfield towards the sideline and is complete to Luke Floria. Exactly at the 50, and he falls, toes taps towards the Kent State sideline.
And there wasn't anything necessarily that the Bowling Green secondary did wrong right there. It's just a good play from there on out. So Kent State officially moving the ball down the field for the first time in quite some time.
They get the first down. They're now exactly at the 50. They got to get a touchdown here to make this a one-score game. Ludowski waiting, takes the snap. Shotgun formation, looking downfield, looking. He's got pressure. He runs out toward his right side, looking downfield still. He's being chased down by a Falcons defender. He throws it out of bounds towards the BGSU sideline.
Once again, a great job by the coverage team, just making sure that nothing gets absolutely past them, and just the defense has definitely deserved their flowers today, mainly the secondary and the linebackers. Just a great job from the back, from that side of the field.
So many Kent State throws today under pressure. Ludowski has had to break away outside of his pocket twice now. One time he made it work, other times he had that last time he had nowhere to go. Otowski. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on his right towards the BGSU sideline. Curtis Douglas in the backfield. In motion now. Kent State wide receiver. Handoff to Douglas. Douglas, and he just runs right into Brock Horn for the tackle. Looks like there's going to be no gain there, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
I believe number 6, C.J. Brown, was also in there on the tackle as well. The strong safety doing a real nice job as well.
The aforementioned Brock Horn is going to check out here. Going to go to the sideline as it's 3rd down and 10. Ball on the 50. And there was a penalty on that play, an illegal shift by the offense. Looked like he made a couple more moves than he should have. But the BGSU is going to decline that penalty due to it would have been repeating 2nd down. They want to keep it at the 3rd down.
Again, it's just minimizing mistakes. You can't have those things happen.
Otowski looks like he was arguing with the ref just a little. Otowski yelling for the snap. He looks over to the sideline again. Stops that. Goes up in shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on his left, 2 on his right. Otowski takes the snap. Looking downfield. He's under pressure again. Chasing him down as BGSU defense. He throws down the field, and it's intercepted. We'll have to see. They're saying it's not, but
looked like he just missed it by a fraction of an inch, but it was really close. Great job by the coverage team once again.
It is going to be out of bounds, and it is going to be 4th down, and the offense, the Kent State offense, is going to remain on the field.
You have to make a lot happen, so I don't necessarily blame the offense for staying out there on the field, but you got to execute really, really well here.
Absolutely. They are reviewing the previous interception play on the field. That ball was supposedly intercepted by Edward Rambo, but we're waiting to see the review. We're going to keep it here just in case it comes back early. And Carter, if your Kent State offense and this interception doesn't stand, you're still going to have to go for it.
And you have to execute too, going for it. If you don't get it right here, this is obviously we still have a long way to go in this 4th quarter, but if you don't get this 4th down right here, then it's really the idea of possibly you coming back and trying to steal this win away is thrown out the window if you don't execute on this down right here.
Absolutely. This could be the most important review of the game. This could completely kill that momentum that the Kent State offense was building. As we look here, both teams still discussing. It looks like that we were reviewing this thoroughly. It did look close to me. I initially thought it was an interception, but I could be very wrong.
And it's also really hard to see from our vantage point because we're right behind the Kent State sideline right now, and it's so hard to see if the foot got in bounds because there's so many people standing in front. So from our vantage point, it's a little bit harder to see compared to what the refs are viewing at this current moment.
I see Connor Bazak and Lucian Anderson warming up right now. So obviously making sure that if they do get the ball back, they got their quarterbacks ready and willing to go. Right now, Peggy's is out there as well. This has been a long review because they are really looking at it. If you see what audience sees, I see a referee. You obviously have the setup for what they use to review plays. They have been staring at that for about 3 minutes now, just making sure, I'm sure, analyzing every second. Because obviously in college football, the rule is you just have to have 1 foot down.
And we saw in the BG huddle right there, Coach Leffler was really arguing this case on him thinking that interception for Rambo was indeed a pick.
And he takes the headset off. We're going to get the announcement here. And it is going to be an interception for Edward Rambo, and it's going to be Bowling Green ball.
Again, Artie, it had to be really, really close, but like they say, football has always been a game of inches, and that right there just proves that narrative is still true to this very day.
And a big congratulations to Edward Rambo, who's probably got that turnover chain on right now.
Always got to love the turnover chain, man.
Every turnover chain is awesome. As right now, Bazlak back out on the field along with Terrion Stewart. 3 wide receivers on his right, 1 to his left. In motion. Right now is a tight end. Hands off to Stewart. Stewart going to the middle. He finds a hole. He's still going up the middle. He's still going. He breaks the tackle, and he's taken down at the 50-yard line.
Terrion Stewart, the ball carrier for the Falcons.
Bowling Green trying everything they can to make sure they chew that clock as much as possible. Still a little ways to go before it's all said and done, but currently right now it's certainly setting in motion.
You're going to see a lot of tight end looks here as Harold Fenton Jr., the aforementioned tight end of this offense, is going to check out. Almost 150 receiving yards for Fenton Jr., 149 on the day with 9 receptions. It's right now Rakeem Smith on Bazelak's right. He takes the hands it off to Patterson. Stewart, I should say, up the middle, and he's not going to go as big a gain as it was last time. Going to be a 4-yard run to put BG in a second down position. The ball on the 48-yard line. Sorry, second down and 8, I should say.
Second down.
Be interesting to see what other tricks Bowling Green has up their sleeve. Obviously, it's a 13-point lead right now, and obviously it's not a close game, but they're doing everything they can to make sure that this lead is very well extended.
Jamal Johnson and Peggy checking the game. Harold Fanning Jr. back in along with Levi Gazarek. Hand off to Peggy. Bazelak fakes it. Bazelak looking downfield, and he throws the Peggy's on the sideline. He's going up the sideline, and he's taken out by 2 Kent State defenders who just push him out of bounds. A good sideline run there that's going to get him on 3rd down for the Falcons.
Looked like he tried to cut back a little bit to the inside, but just absolutely nowhere to go from there on out.
Just wrapped around by 2 Kent State defenders. It's going to be a 3rd down and 1. Terrence Stewart's going to come back out onto the field. Number 81, Elijah Boyd will check in for number 10, Levi Gazarek. Rakeem Smith on the far left side towards the Kent State sideline.
Got trips all the way out to the left side of the field.
In motion is a tight end. It's hand off to Stewart, who goes up the middle, and he's taken down. It'll be interesting to see the spot of the ball.
We have a lineman shaking up right now as he is slow to get up. I believe that's number 75.
Looks like he did get back out on his feet.
And that is Andrew Page, number 75 on the offense.
And Stewart is going to get that 1st down, and it's going to be another 1st down for the Falcons offense. As Johnson and Peggy's will check in for Stewart. Falcons. Looks like somebody just threw their mouth guard, I would say. I don't know really what that was.
I don't know why you would throw that. I would want that mouth guard with me at all times, Artie.
Absolutely, and it looks like there's going to be a, I don't know what you would call it. It looks like there's a whistle out on the field. We're waiting to hear the announcement of what it was.
Kenny Burns looks irate right now, kind of throwing his fist up in the air, just kind of like trying to get his team's attention right now as they're currently down 13.
It's possible he did not agree with the spot of the ball. And they are going to take a timeout to challenge the rule on the field. So we're going to take a short break before we get back to you here on Falcon Radio. We'll be right back.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
9:19 left on the game clock, 20-6, BGSU up, and we're going to get the call.
It has to be a really, really close call, Artie. I mean, that's one of those tough situations where, like, especially on running plays when you're trying to get the spot, and you know, especially when the knee comes down and the ball crosses the plane at the exact same time, you never know, so it's really hard to make those judgments.
So what happened here was there's a video playing on the scoreboard now, and the ref just made his announcement. So I believe it is going to stand as a first down on this play. So Kent State is going to lose a timeout. They did use that timeout in order to challenge the play.
Orange pants, orange hats, orange shirts.
The offense currently stays out on the field as the timeout is still
It was still
currently under.
It was still technically a timeout, so they get to use all of it as well as make sure it's challenged. As right now there's 9:19 left on the clock. BGSU driving towards the end zone. They're on the Kent State's 40-yard line, attacking the left side of the field. Looks like the offenses are going to come back out. The offense and defense are going to line back up. The action will resume here shortly.
Got trips all the way out to the left. Definitely going to have to keep an eye on that if you're the Kent State defense.
Terrion Stewart in the backfield. Lining up the lone right receiver on the right is Harold Fanny Jr. So Kent State has lost that challenge. They've lost any right to challenge any sort of plays during the rest of the game. So the rest of this 9:19 clock, they cannot challenge any play, any call that the official makes.
Challenging is just high risk equals potential high reward, and in that case, it just was not high reward.
Bezak will line up alone by himself. Jamal Johnson will go to the backfield, looking downfield for Harold Fannin Jr., and he makes the catch, turning around for a spectacular catch. It's Harold Fannin Jr. for a big gain.
Harold Fannin Jr. said, "Boy, get off me." Just didn't get away with a very egregious push, but when it comes to man-to-man coverage as a receiver, you have to create as much separation as you can because that corner is not going to let go. And that's great job by Fannin.
That's a 22-yard gain for Harold Fannin Jr. as Lucid Anderson is going to check into the game for the Falcons along with Terrion Stewart in the backfield. Anderson makes the handoff, and Stewart dodges the defender, still going at the 10, and he's going to be wrapped up by multiple Kent State defenders.
Looked like Terrion, looked like he had a lot more room on that outside, but just was met by a bunch of defenders. So could have been one of those what-if plays, if you ask me.
Apologize for the stutter, folks. I thought Lucid Anderson was going to keep that ball for a second. He did a good fake with that handoff on that read option play, as Stewart now with 131 yards on the day. Bezak back in the game now. Lining up with him is, on the left, is wide receiver Wynn Sharp, along with Elijah Boyd, the tight end in the backfield. Anderson in motion is Rakeem Smith going across the middle. Rakeem Smith now lining up on the left side. Bezak, handoff to Stewart, up the middle. Stewart, and just met by a wall of humanity in the Kent State Golden Flashes for no gain.
And Artie, you did not have to apologize for stuttering. It happens to the best of us. But back to the actual game. This is where the Falcons are really good at, especially in the run game, you know. But so far this game, every time when they get down to the red zone, they kind of stall out. They can't get going like they were when they were going past midfield.
7:27 left on the game clock. Jamal Johnson in the game, and there's a jump here, and there's a flag out on the play. It's going to be interesting to see. BGSU is saying that the Golden Flashes jumped off sides. Referees are going to have a discussion here. Flag was thrown fairly quickly, and we have the announcement coming shortly. It is going to be offsides on number 50 for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Number 50, of course. Number 50 being one of the Kent State Golden Flashes. So the BGSU will move up closer towards the end zone. So they get a lucky break there. It's now 1st down and 5.
Yeah, that's just those mistakes that Kent State has been making a lot in this game. It's been shooting themselves in the foot.
Terrion Stewart in the backfield along with Bezak. Wynn Sharp on the left. Stewart takes a handoff. He trips up on one of his offensive lineman's feet, and he gets nowhere.
Bezak kind of fooled me right there. I thought he took it himself, because if he did, he was walking in for a touchdown right then and there. But that unfortunately is not the case, and we'll have to wait for another play to see if the BGSU Falcons can punch it in for 6.
It looked like Stewart was trying to make a cut towards the outside, but he tripped up on his own offensive line's foot, or or ankle, I should say. Jamal Johnson in the backfield. Raheem Smith out on the field for the Falcons, along with Levi Gazarick and Wynn Sharp on the left. Harold Fenton Jr. on the right. Bazelak looking towards the sideline just to confirm the play call. In motion is Wynn Sharp, moves closer to Raheem. Stewart Bazelak takes the pass, throws to Johnson, and it's in for the touchdown. That's another passing touchdown for Connor Bazelak, and the first touchdown of the day for Jamal Johnson.
Great job by Jamal Johnson. He's really contributed into this game very, very well. Puts up 6 more on the board for BGSU, making it a 20-point lead.
26-6, pending the extra point, could be a 21-point lead. As this drive was started by a Edward Rambo, I should say, interception at the 50-yard line that led all the way here, as Zach Long going to take the extra point. He missed that field goal earlier, up, and it's good. A 21-point lead for the Falcons, 27-6. What a domination compared to last week. The cheerleaders are celebrating, doing the classic, I don't know what you call that, a snake celebration, I would say, whenever BGSU scores. The cannons obviously went off. And what a flip this is from last week. Obviously, we're going to talk about this a lot post-game, but this is a completely different game.
It has been, compared to last week against the Huskies, where it got away from them. And they were leading at one point that game. They were up 7-6, but it went away in a hurry. So Coach Scott Leffler definitely has his guys right this week, and so far it is working in their favor 100% of the way.
Absolutely, it is. And Kent State, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull it off. Obviously, the old announcer jinx, but you got 6:32 left on the clock. You're down by 21. What do you call here if you're the coach?
You just have to play for pride at this point. I don't want to say it's completely over yet, but right now, this is the deepest point that you have been in this game. And the Golden Flashes, and I don't know what Kenny Burns is going to have to try to do to make this not as bad as it initially was, but right now it is going absolutely sideways for the Golden Flashes right now, and this might be a little bit more over than we currently think right now.
Absolutely. It's tough to, when you're a coach in this position, what the call, what your play is going to be, because obviously the game might be over. You have 6:32. Your time is winding down. You can't really get much going in regards to the passing game. Your quarterback just threw a pick on the last play, so it's going to be very tough to figure out what they're going to do here right now. As there's a conversation going on, special teams is just discussing what they're going to do. Obviously, you're going to have to get a big run back here if you're going to set yourself up good.
Still a little bit over 6 minutes to go here. I mean, I suppose anything is possible, Artie. You never doubt that in any sort of not just football, but just sport in general, because when the opportunity presents itself, you best believe that there's a good chance it will follow through.
Special teams is going to come out now on the field. Looks like it's going to be number 22 for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Number 22, of course, being Deshaun Martin, who's going to receive that kick. Falcons will kick off. Zach Long will be the one kicking off. Towards the left side of the field. Only 6:32 left. Player of the game today announced as the Coke player of the game with 26 carries, 224 rushing yards, 5 yards per carry. Just a big, big game for him today.
Yeah, and also, the previous weeks where he's been a little bit banged up and the availability that he had wasn't all the way there, but great to see Terrion Stewart back, fully back at 100%, and he has proven why he's the number 1 back on this team.
And the kick is away, and it's towards the end zone, and he waves for it, and he's going to take it in the end zone. He waved for the fair catch there. It was a pretty straight line kick, so not much he could do with it there, especially with the Falcons special teams closing in. And now 6:32 left in the half. As we mentioned before, defense is going to come back out on the field for the Falcons, and what a defensively dominant day. You got the turnover there, but so much pressure has been forced here. They've got 2 sacks total today, 2 players combining, McClendon and Davis combined for 1 sack, and then a lot of quarterback hits. 8 quarterback hits today for the Falcons. So not a good day to be a Kent State quarterback, as he's going to take that snap out of shotgun. He's going to throw downfield and is complete for a big gain towards down the middle near the 40-yard line. A quick pass by Ulatowski.
throwing it into double coverage like that is a very, very dangerous game. So the receiver's lucky he did not get blasted right there.
Pass to Chris Home McKay. They're going to go in a hurry-up offense. Your teammate looking downfield, and he throws towards the Kent State sideline. So there's nothing going there. He threw it out of bounds. 6:08 left on the clock. 2nd down and 10 now. Ulatowski, they went with a hurry-up offense there, so they're definitely trying to score as quickly as they possibly can to get this deficit down. Probably if they score, they'll go for an onside kick, I would guess. Ulatowski in shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on the right, a trips formation again. In the backfield is Douglas. Looking downfield, he throws the ball, and it's incomplete. Just bounces off the hands of Deshaun Martin's hands.
You have to come up with that reception, and you could. That's the thing. A lot of people make the arguments. Oh, well, it was behind them. It was too far out in front of him. If you get 2 hands on the football, you should be able to catch it. It looked like he tried to catch with his body more than his hands, so can't have that happen. Have to catch the ball.
3rd down and 10. Music playing in the stadium. The band is getting hyped for Bowling Green. The biggest 3rd down of the day. This could set the Falcons up with an early victory here today. Takes a snap, shotgun formation. He's looking back to pass. Towski looking, throws up a prayer. It's intercepted.
Threw that ball up with a lot of hopes and prayers and came down with absolutely nothing.
Unfortunate, but that's what you got to do in this position. As the interception placed by number 32, Patrick Day, and he's going to get that turnover chain.
Once again, the turnover chain is something to be excited about if you're on the Falcons defense, and just what a great job from the defense as a whole, just making sure nothing got by them right there. And Artie, I don't want to say it's too early, but this thing might be all said and done if the Falcons continue to drain the clock here in the 4th.
Looks like Lucen Anderson is in the game along with Justin Peggy. So a lot of players you don't normally see here today. I see Trey Johnson on the far left side as well, along with hands off to Peggy's. Peggy's goes up the middle, still going for a big gain, and he's taking down past the 45-yard line.
You talk a lot about the starters not being out there, and that's a good thing because the starters have pretty much done their job. For people who are still new to college football, this is completely normal. It happens all the time. You want to take your starters out, put in some of your reserve guys. So your starters already did the work. They already did the job. Don't want to risk them getting hurt or anything silly like that.
Jacob Harris and Blaine Cleaver, 2 tight ends in the game. Another handoff to Peggy's, but Lucen's going to take it. He's going to try to take it to the right side, but he falls down. Goes nowhere. It's now going to be 3rd down and 5.
Definitely stumbled a little bit going out to his right-hand side.
And that's the type of things they like to do with Lucen Anderson. We've seen it on that touchdown run he had earlier. They love using him as a mobile threat. This is his big skill. This is what separates him from Connor Bazelak. He's more of a mobile ability than other quarterbacks in the QB room.
Reminds me a little bit of Lamar Jackson run. It has a little bit of a similar stride to him.
3rd down and 10. He lost 5 yards on that play. Anderson going to pass. He's going to run up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Try to break that out in the middle, but Kent State swarms them, and it's going to be 4:44 left on the clock, and the punt team will come out for Bowling Green.
4th down.
However, the main objective of that drive was obviously you want to get downfield and add more on the board, but also Bowling Green is currently draining the clock as we speak. Still a little bit over 4 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. So task failed successfully in a way.
I would say so. They killed time, which is what they wanted to do in the first place, and he's going to hold on to this ball for a long time before punting it, I would assume. Patrick Day out there, the aforementioned player who had that incredible interception that really might have sealed this game for the Falcons. Henderson fumbles the snap. He's going to run for it. Henderson's still going, and he's taken down.
Yeah, it's just one of those mistakes right there. Obviously, a dropped punt from the punter will lead to a bunch of trouble if it's not handled properly, so that was just one of those cases.
Looks like it was a low snap as Kent State is going to get the ball on the 38-yard line. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back here in just a little bit.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds. Not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Welcome back to Doyle Perry Stadium. We're going to get the action going right away. It was 27-6. It's still 27-6. Ulatowski tried to get that ball and try to get the offense going as quickly as possibly could after that punt fumble.
And there seems to be a penalty marker down on the field, so we will wait and see what that is indicating towards. It's on Kent State's side of the field.
We're waiting for the call. Referees are having a discussion. Another referee comes over to join them. No indication yet on what team it's on, but like Carter said, it was on the Kent State side of the football. Kent State currently on the 32-yard line. Waiting to hear the call. More discussion going on. Stadium is silent, waiting to hear what the referee's view of the game was.
My apologies. You have to worry. You have to really question that they're just double-checking everything because, you know, sometimes as announcers and fans, you know, we say things about refs that may not be all that great, but at the end of the day, they're just doing their job and making sure that the game runs properly.
There was no foul for intentional grounding. So it looks... So when Ulatowski, when we were in break, they hiked the ball very quickly. Ulatowski threw the ball out of bounds, so they were looking at if there was a rule of intentional grounding, but it did pass the line of scrimmage. It was towards his offensive, his sideline on the right side of him. Ulatowski looking to get a better game going than he has in the last two throws. Ulatowski looking downfield, still looking. He's going to run. He's still looking downfield, still looking. Throws the ball out of bounds towards the cheerleaders on the left sideline of Bowling Green.
Run, cheerleaders, run. You don't want to be a part of that mess.
Ulatowski, not a great day for Ulatowski. He's only completed 7 passes of 25 attempts, 2 interceptions for only 78 yards, and he's been sacked twice.
Yeah, afterwards, Ulatowski is just gonna wish that this game, I wouldn't say happened because this might be a good learning experience for a quarterback, but for a young quarterback in particular, but just not the way his day wanted to go.
Yeah, Ulatowski just big struggle today against this Bowling Green defense, who have done a great job containing him all day long. Ulatowski in the backfield along with Douglas. Curtis Douglas in the backfield. Ulatowski takes a snap and shotgun. Ulatowski looking downfield, and the ball bounces off the hands of Luke Florina for an incomplete pass.
What did I say earlier, Artie? If you get 2 hands on the ball, you should be able to receive. Luke Floria just... Obviously, he's had a great game despite Kent State being down, but still, get 2 hands on the ball, you should be able to bring it in.
Ulatowski leads the team in reception yard with 35 with only 2 receptions. He has a long of 20, which is the longest reception out of all of the Golden Flashes players. It's going to be 4th down and 10, 3:34 on the 32-yard line. The biggest snap of the game here for the Golden Flash. Ulatowski takes a snap, looking downfield, immediate pressure, chasing him down. Our Falcons, he's still looking, running toward his right side. He's still looking downfield. He throws down, and it looks like it's going to be complete.
Refs are saying it's incomplete.
Ball might have hit the ground. It is.
Ulatowski's pass intended for number 2, Christian McCray.
The pass was intended for Christian McCray. Is going to be incomplete, and the Falcons are going to take over at the 32-yard line.
Great job bringing that pressure from the defensive line. I saw a little bit of blitz action going on right there, so another good job for the Falcons as they have already put on a really good performance on the defensive side of the ball today.
A dominance as 3 Falcon players were immediately swarming Gukowski as soon as he hiked the ball. Hand off here to Patterson. Patterson going nowhere. Sorry, I should say that was number 25, Markel Porter, the freshman who checks in for the first time today. As once again, Lucid Anderson is on the field, and as we see more of the backup, more of the bench players in the game for the Falcons, as we have this 21-point cushion.
Yep. Definitely want to keep that, keep that clock rolling because just a little over 3 minutes to go from Bowling Green's 3rd win of the season.
Looks like more handoffs are going to be underway. Shotgun formation. Multiple tight ends out on the field. Another handoff here, and he's going to keep going for a big gain. Well, I should say a short gain. Porter, once again, the ball carrier. He's going to be shoved out of bounds after a short little gain. It's going to be set them out for 3rd down. Ball will be on the 9-yard line. So a 2-yard gain after that 2nd and 11. 3rd down and 9. 2:38 left on the clock, and the ball is on the 33-yard line. Anderson still out on the field.
I've noticed the attendance is starting to dwindling down as this game is pretty much all said and done, but still have to play those last 2 minutes.
Oh, this family weekend, they could be doing things with their family. Of course, another handoff here to Porter. Porter up the middle. The freshman getting a lot of carries here, and he's going to be stopped after, it looks like a 1 yard, 2 yard gain, I would say.
And that's also a good point, Artie. Just when you're so in depth with the game, you have to kind of forget what's going on around you at times. So I appreciate the reminder, friend.
All good, all good. I mean, when you have a 21-point lead in a MAC game, you got that cushion. You feel good when you're leaving this game.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it looks like it's going to be a 4th down and 7, ball on the 35. It looks like the punt team will be coming on for Bowling Green. Hopefully it's a little more successful of a punt, unfortunately, because John Henderson, he did fumble with that when the ball was snapped to him. It was a pretty low snap in his defense, so it was hard to get a handle on that ball.
Yeah, it was just a mess from the very start. So with low snaps, that's something, when you practice snaps with as a center or a lone snapper, you want to try to make them the best that you could possibly be, and minimize, going too low, because if that ball gets to the ground in that speed, then everything that you wanted to happen is not going to happen, if that makes any sort of sense.
Absolutely, that does make sense. You obviously want to make sure those snaps are consistent. We remember that Michigan State game where they fumbled this punt that ended in a Michigan State victory. Obviously, that may not be an example of a bad snap, but an example of fumbling a snap. Never good. But luckily, unlike that, they're in a pretty comfortable position, as right now the 2-minute timeout is in effect in this game. It is 27-6 with 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Time still ticking away. Obviously, when you're Kent State, there's not a lot to be excited about. The bench is fairly quiet now on their sideline. When you lose 21 points like this and you're about to go 0-7, there's not a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, definitely not, especially for Kenny Burns, who only has 1 win to his name for being the Kent State head coach. So looks like afterwards he will be 1-18 and looking to see what the future holds next for this squad.
Unfortunate outcome for Kent State, as there is still time left on the clock. There still is maybe some pride left to be won for the Golden Flashes. Maybe get that touchdown they've been looking for all game after settling for 2 field goals. They've been scoreless for multiple halves now. Last time they scored, I believe it was last time they scored was the second quarter, and it was a 3-point field goal. So they've gone 2 whole quarters without scoring.
And it looks like, from what we've seen all games so far, it looks like they've not even got close to the red zone besides those 2 field goal attempts too. So just overall, both sides of the ball just did not what they need to be for today.
Bowling Green had a good offensive performance, especially coming off after such a where everything seemed to go wrong last week against the Huskies, against NIU. A much more consistent, more confident game out of these Falcons, I would say. As the special teams has rejoined, the punt team for Bowling Green has gotten back out on the field. Henderson will punt.
And if I'm Coach Leffler afterwards, I'm happy, I'm excited that we got the win, but you have to keep trucking along, because despite the win, Bowling Green will still be under 500. So you got to keep that momentum moving after you win each and every time.
They will be 3-4 and 2-1 against the MAC. Luke Floria will receive this punt. Henderson, a much better snap this time, and as he almost got blocked, a Golden Flash player came in right away, diving to block that punt, and it was close, Carter. It was very close.
Artie, you saw my reaction right then and there. It was
pure shock.
You couldn't get more closer than that. For a split second, I thought, oh, that might be blocked, but he just got it out just in time.
Absolutely. I think you gasped there. I don't blame you.
I did.
It was close.
I did. It was close. It is very, very close.
As some of the backup defenders or some of the bench players here for Bowling Green are going to check out onto the field for defense. And it looks like Kent State will get a new quarterback here. Lutowski looks like he is done for the day.
It's time to shut it down, ladies and gentlemen.
Hikes the ball. Looking downfield. It's up for it, and it's incomplete. A good pass breakup there by number 21 for the Falcons. That was Todd Bumfis.
Number 21, Todd Bumfis, on the covers for the Falcons.
Todd Bumfis, who broke up that pass there. It is Rule Tomlinson in for quarterback for the Kent State Golden Flashes, number 17. Rule Tomlinson, he has a long way to go here. He's just got to get something for pride for his team, something for his team to go home excited about as he's back to pass. Thompson's going to run with it towards the right sideline, and Bowling Green defender Patrick Day, who got that interception earlier, looked like he was about to go for a big hit, but instead of shoving it out of bounds. Tomlinson is going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Golden Flashes.
Artie, believe it or not, this is actually one of my favorite moments of the game, seeing these young players or backups, get a chance of being on the field. And, you never know. These might be the future individuals that will take over for this team and be the next man up.
Especially after we saw so many seniors for Senior Day. It's good to see that. Of course, now it's 3rd down and 5. Officials asked the clock to be reset to 1:38. Ball on the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 5. Tomlinson has 5 yards to go to get that 1st down. Just has to get something, as we mentioned, for pride for his team, to make this one a little closer than it's seen for most of the game. Tomlinson looking downfield, intercepted again. Ball is intercepted by Todd Bumpus, who made that pass deflection. It's be 3 interceptions for the Falcons defense.
I will hold up my 3 fingers for 2 reasons. Rest in peace, Dale Sr., but also the 3 picks that Bowling Green has put up today. Just a minute and 35 left, Artie. I guess you could say this is probably all said and done from here on out, as the Falcons will try to come back onto the field and milk the remaining clock that's left.
For the 3rd time today, the song Turnover Chain plays throughout Dwight L. Perry Stadium. As the Falcons, it looks like they're just going to either take a knee here, or they're going to run the ball. They are getting in. Quarterback Lucien Anderson looks like he is getting in position to take a knee.
They call this the victory formation, Artie. It's probably the best play in all of football, if you had to ask me.
Probably the most accurate name of any play in football history, if you ask me as well. Victory formation as Lucien Anderson takes the knee, and the clock is going to wind down. Doesn't look like Kent State will use any of their timeouts, or the 1 timeout they have remaining. Obviously, they're going to have to do this a couple of times before it's suitable enough to end the game officially.
Yeah, because the play clock coincides with the game clock itself, too, so
Absolutely.
That's always something to keep in mind.
So probably 1 or 2 more victory formation knees here for the Falcons. They're going to waste all the time they possibly can. It is now under 1 minute remaining in the game. Obviously keeping close of that game clock, and he takes another knee. Going to be 3rd down and 12 now. 48 seconds ticking away at the clock, as Falcon fans are starting to get a little bit loud here after such a good victory. The band, I should say, is especially getting loud.
Gotta love the spirit of the band no matter what. After the news that we had, the last week and a half or so, glad to see that the band spirit is still on full display here today.
With 30 seconds remaining, Lucien Anderson takes 1/3, one last knee, and it is going to be it. Teams will head on to the field for the end of the game. Bowling Green, 27-6 victory, a 21-point win against the Kent State Golden Flashes. We'll be right back here for postgame. Don't go anywhere.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
BGSU Hockey travels to New York to take on Rochester Institute of Technology Saturday, October 19th at 7:07 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Falcon women's tennis heads east for the Cleveland State Invitational on Friday, October 18th through Saturday, October 20th. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for Falcon Media Sports Network's recap of the event.
Welcome back for one final time here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium on Falcon Radio. My name is Artie Brago, joined by my broadcast partner Carter Leonard, who brought you that play-by-play performance in the first quarter of this game. 27-6, I should say, is our final. Bowling Green with a 21-point victory against the Kent State Golden Flashes. Carter, what do you make of this one? What was your analysis of today?
It's a complete reset compared to what we saw last week against NIU. Bowling Green was just in sync on both sides of the ball. Offense was doing their assignments. Defense was doing their assignments. Special teams were doing their assignments. They've done a phenomenal job today. This is the confidence game that Bowling Green needed heading into Toledo, the Battle of I-75 next week. So this is definitely a great momentum builder for the Falcons.
Absolutely, as the cannons just went off one final time here at Bowling Green. And as you mentioned, what a difference 1 week makes. Last week it was 17-7. It felt just a miserable game for the Falcons. Now 27-6 victory. That's going to get them to 3-4 on the season and 2-1 against the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, their next big goal is just to get back above 500, and they could do that next week. They could do that. Toledo, a little bit of a tougher team than what Kent State is currently at. Not saying Kent State, not throwing any shade at them, but just you have to keep locking in. You have to keep building that momentum, as I've said numerous times, and just minimize mistakes, too, because there would be times in the game where Bowling Green would march down the field. They would get in the red zone, but it was either missed opportunities on plays, miscommunication, and some flags as well. So you have to clean that stuff up a little bit more. But once again, great job by Bowling Green.
And you mentioned the most important thing. 1 week from today, 3:30 p.m. on next Saturday, the Battle of I-75 against Toledo at the Glass Bowl. We will have that call here on Falcon Radio, and that'll be from Reese Patricus and Sean Connolly at the Glass Bowl. So really excited about that. And what a day today. I mean, it was a beautiful day for football. The weather was nice all day, not much wind either. And it felt like Bowling Green, like you mentioned, they had everything connected for the most part. Obviously, those small mistakes that they have to clean up if they want to win next week at Toledo.
Yeah, Coach Leffler, he talked a lot about confidence. The confidence was definitely up for this team, I could already tell, because anytime when they would either get a pick, get, good drives on offense and get, just doing everything right. I saw on the sideline on the far end, all the Falcons players were hyped. They were locked in. They were ready to go, and that was just the main game changer today.
It felt like this was a reset week. Like, get your head right, get back in the game, play against this team that's maybe not as good as the record that has just a terrible record, unfortunately, and just get your head right, get ready for next week in the Battle of I-75. And Bowling Green obviously improving to 3-4 on the season. Kent State will unfortunately be 0-7 on the year. Still, just sort of a not so great season for the Golden Flashes once again.
Still 0 in the win column, and that will mark their 7th loss of the year and their 3rd loss in conference. They are defeated in both categories, so it's just Kent State was just completely mismatched today. There was just nothing going their way, and besides the 2 times that they were in the red zone to gain field goals, it was just a day they would love to forget.
Absolutely, and as we wind down here, Carter, it's time for Falcon Media Sports Network's Player of the Game. Carter, I'm going to leave the decision up to you. Who will you name as today's Player of the Game?
We talked about it during break, and it was a very, very hard decision, but I had to give the nod to Terrion Stewart. Though there were times where Terrion would struggle in the game, it didn't, in my opinion, it doesn't overshadow the fact that when Terrion got through and broke for a lot of runs, he made a lot out of a little. The whole running game as a whole did really, really well, but this is the first time in a while that Terrion Stewart has really shown out. You know, the past few weeks he's been a little bit banged up with injuries, and this was like the first time in a while where I saw Terrion at full 100% capacity, and he's the player of the week if you had to ask me, Artie.
Absolutely, and as we conclude today's press conference, I just want to, today's broadcast, I should say, I wanted to send out a few thank yous. First, I want to thank my broadcast partner, Carter Leonard, called a great game today. His first ever play-by-play call during the first half of this game. He did a fantastic job. Did a great job in color as well. And then a couple more thank yous. I want to thank sports director Lucas Lemmeyer, and I hope I said that last name right. And then production director Tyler Kavlitz. We would not be able to call those games without those two. And then, of course, I wanted to thank the man pushing all the buttons back in the Cooling Center in Bowling Green State University, Nate. It was such a great job working with you today. He kept us on the air. He kept us going. He did a fantastic job. And
I also want to say a big thank you to BGSU Athletics, because they're one of the main reasons and components why we're able to deliver such great broadcasts every single week, no matter what sport it is.
Absolutely. And as we wind down here, 20, the final, BGSU 27, Kent State 6. Have a great night, folks, and drive home safe. Thank you for listening.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.